After a convincing Week 1 win in Gustine, Summerville travels back to Tuolumne to face the Dos Palos Broncos. Over 680 wins puts the Broncos as the third most winning team in the state of California. Despite the major accolades from Dos Palos, that did not stop Summerville from defeating them last year. And can the Bears replicate a victory in order to earn a 2-0 record? We find out tonight as the trip down Bears Boulevard continues. Summerville Bears football is on NorCal Sports TV. Welcome to Thorstead Field for the Edward Jones pregame show. I'm Levi Flores. He's Danny Scott. And Edward Jones, investing is not just about creating wealth. It's about making your money work for you so you can live your life on your terms. Find your local Edward Jones advisor at edwardjones.com. Like I said, I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores, and beside me, his middle name is Great, and his full name is Danny Scott. Danny, welcome to the booth.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here. Really excited. Friday Night Lights, what's better than this?
Well, nothing, and I'll tell you that myself. Dos Palos traveling up to Tuolumne. It's a very long bus ride for them. Summerville made the trip last year, got a victory. Now they're at home, which should help them a little bit, and we'll see how much that does for them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really curious to see how Dos Palos comes out. Like you said, a long bus ride. A lot of teams will fall asleep. And then on the flip side of that, you get a lot of guys that are really excited to travel. You're coming up into the mountains. It's a very pretty drive. You get really excited about playing up here. Nice and cool weather against a good opponent. So I'm looking really forward to this game. I think it's going to be very interesting. The passing game of Dos Palos versus the running game of Summerville.
Last week, Summerville was at Gustine. They took a 41-18 victory. You can go back and watch that game anytime on NorCal Sports TV. Dos Palos, unfortunately, last week took a loss 33-22 to Los Banos, in which what I heard from some of the Summerville coaches is that it's the first time in decades that Dos Palos has lost back-to-back years to their crosstown rival of Los Banos. So now, since they lost last year, then Summerville beat them last year. Now Los Banos takes another victory. Summerville, can they do it again? That's the question we ask tonight.
Yeah, if history repeats itself, which it tends to do, we should be seeing a Bears victory here tonight. However, this Los Banos team is nothing to scoff at. They're very good. They got a lot of weapons on offense, and I think it really starts with their quarterback, Peyton Van Werth. He throws a great ball, and he moves really well out of the pocket. The Bears' defensive line and D-ends, it's going to be a lot of pressure on them all game long to keep him contained, because I think once he gets out in the pocket, he had 60 rushing yards last week to go along with 108 passing yards, and I think that's pretty good for a high school quarterback. Anytime you're crossing that century mark, it makes a big difference in a game, and then you get a guy that can run on top of that. It's a weapon for sure.
We'll dive deeper into the Dos Palos Broncos when we return in just a moment for more of the Edward Jones pregame show. Hello, Bears fans! Black Oak Casino Resort is very proud to help bring you tonight's live streaming of the Summerville Bears football game. If you haven't been to Black Oak Casino Resort recently, now is the time to come by and check us out. Whether you enjoy the entertainment at Willow Creek Lounge, the 5-star RV park, the beautiful Black Oak Hotel and Conference Center, the bowling alley and family fun center, all the games our casino offers, or the fine dining at Seven Sisters Restaurant, it's all there waiting for you. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Lupo. It's a name synonymous with real estate in Tuolumne County and has been for more than 30 years. The latest member of the Lupo family to join the Tuolumne County real estate family is Leanne Lupo at Keller Williams Agency. Leanne is a Tuolumne County native and knows how special the place we call home is. A hard worker who truly cares about her clients. Leanne is a special talent. And Leanne is a Summerville High School graduate and huge Bears supporter, so give her a call and see what she can do to help you. If you see her around town, please thank her for helping to make tonight's live stream possible.
Summerville Bears football on NorCal Sports TV. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores. He's Danny Scott. Let's look at the Dos Palos Broncos. They are 0-1 on the season, but returning to their offense is 6 of the top 7 biggest producing players, including sophomore running back Andre Flores. And that's one of my key to the games is Andre Flores. He had 737 rushing yards last year as the rushing leader for the team, but he had only played 6 varsity games, and he was still the rushing leader. A lot of other players, they played 4 or 5 more games, still couldn't reach that level of intensity in rush yards.
Yeah, well, he's only a sophomore, so watching him on tape throughout this week, it was very impressive to watch. He rushed for 144 yards and a touchdown a week ago. And I already mentioned the quarterback, but the receivers of this team are very deep too. You got four guys really that are going to be your main targets, and Jesus Bond, Sixto Ibarra, Adrian Garcia, and Drake Hennigan. But going back to Flores, only a sophomore, he's very, very shifty and moves very well out of the backfield.
And in those 6 games that he played last year, one of those was not against Summerville. So that's another element that is going to be brought to the Dos Palos offense. Looking at the team as a whole now, only 24 players for Dos Palos. Not a very big team. Summerville definitely defeating them in numbers, but how well can those players stay in the game, have stamina?
Yeah, it's very tough, especially early on in the season. You know, you're coming off of summer practice and everything, and you're grinding all summer long, but you really don't realize how big of a difference games are until you start playing. And I think that was one of the biggest issues for Dos Palos last week, is they got gassed against Los Banos. They only put up 22 points. I think there's more left in the tank for this offense, so I'm very curious to see how they respond after a loss last week.
And offense keeps coming up every time we talk about them, and that's the key for them. They have a lack of returning defenders. Only 8 of the 24 players, defending players, are still on the team from last year, that is, and most players must play both, and that goes right back to it of just how well they can stay in the game on both sides without getting gassed. On top of that, they allowed 18 plays over 12 yards to Los Banos, which was more than any other category if you were to look, inside 5, inside 10, whatever. 18 plays over 12 yards, and the average play for Los Banos against them was 6.6 yards per play, and that is way too much if you want to win.
Yeah, and total offense for Los Banos last week was 397 yards. So let's just say it's 400 and round up, but 376 of those yards were on the ground. So I think that fares very well for the Summerville rushing attack, because the Summerville offense is just speed, and more speed.
And on top of that, all the bigger plays were on the ground as well. It wasn't just the yards in general, but the big plays. 72% of those 18-plus plays were in the run game. Now looking at that offense, the big-time offense, 96% of their plays get ran out of the gun. And will that help them, or will that help Summerville?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think because the Summerville defensive line is very good, that it'll definitely help Dos Palos out, get the quarterback back, let him make his reads early, because we know how good the Summerville defense is, especially at the linebacker position. Nevis flies across the field, 17 tackles last week. So for Van Worth to be able to read him early, I think is going to be very helpful.
Along with this offense, too, they favor the right side heavily. So Summerville, they need to make sure that they cover that more, but don't get in their head saying, they're going to go right every single time, because they do push to that left side, but the right side, they always look that way, and that's very common for a right-handed quarterback. And they are also somewhat balanced. They're 63% run, 37% pass. How does that affect Summerville? Because before the game, we were talking about how nobody in the Motherlode League is pass-first team.
Yeah, and so what I find interesting is a lot of teams will use the run to set up the pass, and you see that at every level of football. However, I think with this Dos Palos teams, it's the opposite. They use the pass to set up the run. They pass the ball effectively, and I think that opens up their ground game a lot. And you see when a sophomore running back goes off for 144 yards in a game, that makes a big difference.
When we come back in just a moment, we look more in depth on the Summerville offense and what they can do defensively to stop this Dos Palos run game. Hello, Bears fans. The Bears Quarterback Club is excited to help bring you Bears football live streamed into your home or your device. Enjoy all the Bears football action on this TV quality broadcast. This is our way of saying thank you to the Bears community for all the support through the years. On behalf of the Bears Quarterback Club, thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Levitt United Insurance Services offers quality insurance coverage, a high level of professional service, and a long-term relationship. They have several locations throughout California to serve your needs, including Elk Grove, Lodi, Napa, Roseville, Sonora, Walnut Creek, and Minden, Nevada. As independent agents, they'll research rates and coverage from top insurance companies to find the best insurance rates and insurance plans for you. They do the shopping and comparing, so you can save time and money. Hello, Bear fans! Boyer Construction is proud to help bring you tonight's broadcast of Summerville Bears football. For over 30 years, they've proudly served our communities with an uncompromising commitment to quality, integrity, and client satisfaction. They are meticulous and still believe in the value of handshakes. And they ensure that you get the experience you deserve. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Chicken Ranch Casino is a proud sponsor of the Summerville Bears Quarterback Club, and they support Summerville High student athletes. By working together, Chicken Ranch Casino believes we can all help elevate each and every student athlete's game, both on the field and in the classroom. National Anthem coming up in just a moment. We continue with the Edward Jones pregame show. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores. He's Danny Scott, and a shout-out to a few Summerville Bear fans watching out there. Sue Bondarat, thanks for watching. My parents in Alabama also watching. And, Danny, you have a few friends watching as well.
Yeah, shout-out to my buddies out in New York from school, Ryan Gregoire, John O'Friel. I believe Adam Warnock is watching, so thanks for tuning in, guys. And my parents, too. They're just in Sonora, but they're checking out the game.
It's a great way. If you don't want to pay to get through the gate, you can watch at home as well. Thanks for doing that. Also, just saw Steve Lee at the game, his wife Cindy watching. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to NorCal Sports TV. We want to hear from you. And the captains right now determining how they will start the game and how it will proceed. It looks like Dos Palos will be receiving on the left-hand side. And before we get to kickoff, the National Anthem comes up next.
Scott Berner, financial advisor at Thrivent, is proud to help bring tonight's Bears football game live to your home. As a Somerville High alum and a member of the Bears Quarterback Club, Scott is instrumental in supporting Somerville High School and Bears football in many ways. The next time you see Scott, be sure to say hello and thank him and Thrivent for supporting the Bears football family. That's Scott Berner, serving you in retirement and insurance. Construction brings a can-do attitude to every aspect of a construction project, making dreams a reality for its customers. The Roberson team is made up of professionals who know how to make the construction process a positive experience. Roberson Construction focuses on quality and integrity to maximize results and minimize stress. Whatever your construction needs, a remodel, new home, commercial project, consider Roberson Construction. You can find us locally and on Facebook or Instagram. We look forward to listening to you.
With the Bears kicking off to the Dos Palos Broncos, we'll see the Dos Palos offense first with the lead, Peyton Van Worth. And when we look at Dos Palos, my offensive key to the game for them is don't get caught looking for a play to develop. Because Somerville's defense is so fast and strong, you have to make sure that you're getting off the play not necessarily fast, but just in time. If you get caught looking for a receiver downfield or a running back to catch an edge, it's not going to work for you. They're so fast, you have to make sure it's going to develop in time, or else you're going to have a massive loss of yards.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more there. I think it's going to be very important for this Dos Palos offense to take what's given to them and not try to do too much. I think you see that a lot in high school football, and as you move up the ranks, it goes down a little bit. But guys will run all over the field to maybe gain 3 yards, but they're running 65 just sideline to sideline. So I think it's going to be important for Dos Palos to take what's given to them, take the extra yards where you can, but not try to do too much.
And for the Somerville defense, my key to the game for them is force them left. You can never force an offense to do anything they don't want to, but if you keep stopping the plays going right, then they'll eventually try something different and go left. And 60% of Dos Palos' plays go right side, and that's just because you have some right-handed players, and they're a little more comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I think the containment is going to be the key for Summerville between Luke Larson and Orlando Lopez, keeping the quarterback in the pocket and not letting him make plays with his legs.
This is the Deo Espresso and Smoothies kickoff. Thanks to Deo for sponsoring today's game. Go to Deo whenever you can. I love the peanut butter blast, just for the information if you do want to go and get yourself a shaker smoothie, as the Dos Palos Broncos take the ball down to the 37-yard line, and that's where they start drive number 1. So now we see the offense of Dos Palos, led by number 5, Peyton Van Worth, the senior last year in the game against Summerville. We talked about passing game a lot and how you think it's going to be the key factor. Last year, Summerville was only allowed them 5 pass completions for a total of 41 yards. Can they do that again? We find out here, as once in the gun, like we said, over 80% of their plays starting in the backfield. We'll see Peyton Van Worth with 4 outs, 2 to each side on 1st and 10, but it's a run play to start us off, and it gets nowhere.
Yeah, and great play by the Summerville defensive line. I think I talked about the containment, but it's also going to take an effort up front, making sure that they have to go outside to force them into that defensive line. So good play there up front.
They are going to go into the same formation, and when Dos Palos does start on that left hash, they are even more favored to go to the right side of the field, with 2 receivers out there, and then the running back to his left side, Peyton Van Worth, now under attack. Multiple Bears trying to tackle him down. 2 of them get there, and we'll credit that tackle to number 16, Brody Peters.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you let the quarterback get outside, it's only a gain of 3 or 4 on that play. However, it moves you a lot closer to a first down, 3rd and 5. In this high school game, all you need is about 3-4 yards of play to get that first down every single drive.
And Summerville knows that Dos Palos favors that right side, so they have to make sure that they get there. And Dos Palos, they made sure that they weren't allowing the play to overdevelop. Peyton Van Worth saw the defense coming in, said, I'm going to get out of here, and that's what led to quite a few yards. And here, incomplete pass number 1, as Brody Peters was the corner on the play.
Yeah, good play there by Peters. It looked like Van Worth kind of threw behind the receiver on that one, but Peters still in the right spot, keeping him in front of the first down mark. So if he were to be able to complete that pass, regardless, it would have been a 4th down coming up.
And it's odd, another thing you mentioned in the pregame that we never got to talk about here was the 2 main corners for Summerville. And you didn't mention Brody Peters, even though he had an interception last week, as Peyton Van Worth looks like they might go for it on 4th and 5. Trying to get the defense to jump. We got some movement, but there's no indication on which side this might be on.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be on Summerville, even though we saw a receiver jump there. It looked like it might have been because Summerville jumped and got him to move.
And it will do just that, and that will also move the chains, so Dos Palos breaks out on a hard count and gets a free set of downs.
Yeah, and it looks like that was number 24, Aaron Schnabel, that jumped, trying to jump that snap count. Doesn't work out for him there, but good game for him last week, 6 tackles and a touchdown on the offensive side.
Now this is where I'm too unsure about what Dos Palos is going to bring to the table. They're on the right hash. They like to favor that side, but now they take out 3 receivers deep left. The handoff taken down in the backfield. Getting there is Luke Larson, the linebacker, flushing the line, and a loss of 3 for Dos Palos.
Yeah, and a great play there by Larson. The interior of the Summerville defensive line creating pressure, and Larson just gets back there and takes him down for a loss of a few.
2nd and 13 to the middle of the field they go. Plenty of options for Dos Palos, and the Summerville defense standing strong in the first few plays. Trying to chase down is Bryce Rathmill, and Peyton Van Worth will take it all the way to the Dos Palos sideline for a gain of a few.
Yeah, and Van Worth only gets a couple on that one, so I credit a lot to the Summerville secondary on that one, not allowing a receiver to get open, and Van Worth just has to tuck it and take the few yards that he can, bringing up 3rd and long.
Bryce Rathmill last week had a sack fumble caused against Gustine. We didn't see too much more from him besides that, but definitely a big part of the Summerville defense. Now 3rd and 10. Peyton Van Worth has 3 wideouts to the right side. Play action, looking cross field, got it to the receiver, going past the 45, the 40, first down and a little extra for Drake Hennigan, the senior running back for Dos Palos.
Yeah, and great blocking on the outside for Dos Palos there by number 3, Drake Hennigan, to set that up. He takes out Brody Peters on that one and allows him to gain a few extra.
Hennigan will come out for this next play. Hennigan, position-wise, they labeled him as a running back, but I believe he started in the slot.
Yeah, I think they're going to play about 4 receivers. They got 4 guys that are going to rotate a lot, and then they got a tight end. So you'll see a lot of either 10 or 11 sets. So a 10 set is a running back, no tight ends. An 11 set would be a running back, 1 tight end. And you're going to see that probably 95% of the time from this Dos Palos offense.
Hennigan went out on that play, and coming into the tackle position is Alonzo Del Rio. He's going to be on the right side helping out Van Werth, and I think they're going to keep going to that favored right side, but Peyton goes right up the middle. Finally, Rathmill gets him after a gain of 9.
Yeah, and a design quarterback run on that one. It looked like a read option from up here, and Van Werth just pulls that and runs right behind number 75 there, Jerry Skipworth for Dos Palos.
And it was a great read by him, too, knowing that Orlando Lopez was around the other side. If he went to the outside of the tackle, he would have been down for only a gain of 1. But he went inside, cut back through, and now they're going to say they moved the chains for a first down. Handoff up the middle, met, not taken down, and finally Luke Larson is going to get there and throw him down.
Yeah, and they're going to give him a little bit of forward momentum on that one. But like we talked about in the pregame show, don't take too much. If he keeps moving up that pile, maybe he gets, a gain of 4 or 5 on that one. Instead, it turns into a gain of 1.5, maybe 2. So this key that you talked about early, don't try to do too much. Take what the Summerville defense gives you, and you see it come to haunt them there.
2nd and 9, Peyton Van Werth. To his left is Andre Flores. Takes a 1-step drop back, looking left. It is caught for a gain of 9. In the fight, pack of Bears drop him right at the yard to gain.
Yeah, and it looks like Bryce Leveros is out on defense right now in the corner position, and he makes the tackle. Kind of interested to see if he's going to keep playing corner all game. The quarterback, you don't typically see that, especially from a sophomore.
Braylon Leveros last year, his older brother played the safety position as well, and one of the best. When you have a quarterback able to flop sides and know exactly what the other quarterback is thinking, that definitely helped him out, so they're still trying to develop his gameplay on both sides of the ball. We've seen quite a bit of passing from Dos Palos, exactly like we expected. Against Gustine last week, Summerville didn't allow 1 single pass reception, and they even had an interception on top of that. Peyton Van Werth getting inside the 10 into the attacking area. Dos Palos wants to strike first.
Yeah, and this is an incredibly methodical drive here from Dos Palos, starting out at the 38-yard line, wasting 4 minutes off the clock already and just cruising down the field.
Last year, Dos Palos only scored in the 2nd and 3rd quarters. Summerville was able to keep them to 0 points in the 1st and the 4th, which you can argue is the best thing to do. If you score in the 1st, you get some momentum going through the rest of the game. You score in the 4th, it could be a game decider. So keeping them in that middle ground is good. But now the Summerville defense needs to try to attack and get that ball back. 1st and goal. Van Werth, the handoff. Flores pushes to the outside. Tackle made by Leveros. Ball jarred loose, and the official is going to say he was down before the fumble.
Yeah, it looked like the ground definitely knocked that out, but a great play there from Leveros, filling in from the corner to make that tackle, and a big tackle because Leveros was the last line of defense there on that corner. If he gets outside of him, that's 6 points for sure.
Four and a half minutes taken off the clock on this Dos Palos opening drive. Van Werth puts Flores to his right. Design play again for Van Werth. Can he beat the edge? A flag flies, and Peters takes him down at the 6, but we'll see if this comes back or favors the Broncos. On the offense, holding.
Yeah, it looked like Rathmill on that one got caught up on the inside. Kind of tough to see. We're in the far corner, so looking all the way down there. But a big break for Summerville on that one, moving them back quite a bit. makes it second and goal from the 20-19-18 looks like. So a long ways to go to get into the end zone.
And this puts Summerville in a prime position if they can keep doing what they've done defensively. Because remember, the first time it was almost a 3-and-out for Dos Palos, but then a hard count led them to keep going onto their drive. They then had a 9-yard reception that pushed them into another first down, and it's been slowly gaining for them. But now on second and goal from the 19-yard line, not looking promising. But here goes Peyton Van Worth cutting back and forth inside the 10 within one play. Another 10-yard gain, and now it's third and goal.
Yeah, and Van Worth doing a lot of work with his legs here early on, and it looked like a fake handoff on that one. I believe that was a design quarterback one, and Van Worth just takes it up the gut and gains 10 on that.
Broncos slow back up to the line. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Flores back to the left of Van Worth. Looking at the end zone. Van Worth in trouble. Gets rid of it, dumps it down, and dumps it to the ground. Incomplete pass. It's fourth and goal, and Dos Palos has a decision to make.
Yeah, it looks like they're bringing in a new group, so I would imagine they're electing to take 3 points on this one, but a very, very long drive, taking up half the quarter on this one drive alone.
And Jesus Bond in warm-ups, we saw him kicking, and he has a leg. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a fourth down somewhere inside the 30 and 40. They could kick a field goal from there.
He was nailing kicks from about the 30-yard line, so a 40-yard field goal.
This one goes through the uprights. Dos Palos strikes first. It's 3-0. The Broncos lead the Summerville Bears in game number 2 of the season.
Area Foundation remains focused on its mission of strengthening its communities. It does that through 3 functions: assisting donors, awarding grants, and leading the community. The vision of the Sonora Area Foundation is that it will be the benchmark for exemplary practices in the philanthropy field. You can go to sonoraarea.org to learn more. Sonora Area Foundation, for good, forever. Visit Tuolumne County is proud to bring you tonight's broadcast of Summerville Bears football. As the official tourism bureau of Tuolumne County, California, their mission is to enhance economic growth by increasing tourism to Tuolumne County. VTC invites visitors to experience iconic Yosemite explorations, authentic California gold country discoveries, and unforgettable High Sierra outdoor adventures. You can enjoy endless outdoor recreation, state and local parks, sightseeing, stargazing, history, shopping, wine and cider tastings, relaxation, and more.
Dos Palos 3, Summerville Bears 0. Halfway through the first quarter, I'm Levi Flores. He's Danny Scott, and the Dos Palos offense taking time off the clock, and that can hurt Summerville in the end.
Yeah, 100%. But the one thing about Summerville is they can score at will. With the speed across that offense, it may take Summerville about 15 seconds to score.
That is very true. We saw that a little bit last week. Just the back and forth of, okay, we're going to take a few minutes, and now we're going to score within one play like we saw Colton Cash did last week. When we saw that their opening drive was 11 rushes, took 5.5 minutes, as this one goes out of bounds and will put Summerville in some nice territory. But it took 5.5 minutes, then all the other drives besides 2 were under a minute in which they scored on most.
Yeah, Summerville, a very, very quick offense, high firepower, and you get the ball to these quick guys. They got 4, 5, 6 guys that can just fly. It's a recipe for success if you're the Bears.
Now looking at the Summerville offense, we talked about it in the pregame, but now looking at their key to the game, I have one name and one name only. Bryce Leveros. He's the quarterback. He has options. He can throw the ball because Dos Palos, maybe their passing defense isn't the best, but we're going to see how Summerville attacks the defense of the Broncos. Starting out with a run play right up the middle. Looked like he was going to gain quite a bit. He only gains 4.
Yeah, it just kind of collapsed on him, and that looks like Colton Cash on there. But the defensive line from Dos Palos is pretty good. Like you mentioned, only 22 guys, so most of these guys are going to be two-way players. So as this game moves on, you're gaining 3-4 yards to play, 3-4 yards to play. It's going to wear them out, definitely. So, maybe not in this first quarter, but as this game progresses, expect to see a couple of big breaks.
Barajas goes in motion, wraps around Leveros, follows his leading blocker, and gains a few more for Summerville. And back to the key for Summerville, Bryce Leveros. He seemed afraid to throw the ball last week against Gustine. They only attempted 6 passes and completed 2. One to Brody Peters, and then the other one, I believe, was to Austin Hike for a little dump-down pass of 6 yards. But he seemed afraid to throw the ball. He needs to trust the offensive line and trust that he knows how to play the game, because we know he can.
Yeah, definitely. And, you got to look at he's only a sophomore. He was on varsity last year, however, not the quarterback watching his older brother play. Last week was a kind of feel-it-out game, get comfortable in the offense, and he has good weapons around him to let the work happen for him.
3rd and short, Leveros designed run for him, breaks the line, gets the first, move the chains for Summerville.
Yeah, and Leveros designed quarterback keep on that one. He takes it right up the gut and gains a few.
Looking at the defensive key to the game for the Dos Palos Broncos, take the right angle. We saw so many plays last week in Gustine where they underestimated the speed that Summerville had, so they would try to cut to the sideline in order to take out the runner, but they cut too soon, and that allowed Summerville to score. So they need to make sure that they know the offensive speed of Summerville and take the right angles. Like we see here, didn't get there the first time, but they did force him out of bounds. That was Colton Cash for his 2nd carry of the game, moving upfield, and another first down Bears.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a flag on that one. I believe it's going to be on number 2, on number 1, Barajas, and a tough break there, moving on back after a big gain for the Summerville offense.
Summerville has a new offense this year. Last year we saw it a little bit more passing, and it was designed around the quarterback Braylon Leveros and his counterpart Kai Elkins, in which they were most of the offense. Then you had Dean Tremoloni, the number 1 receiver, which he got a lot when they decided to go to the air. But now in game number 1, they had 7 different ball carriers, 4 targeted receivers. They have less big play passing, and speed is the game.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of speed. You mentioned it. And I think that's what we're going to be talking about all year when it comes to the Summerville offense. Between Barajas, Cash, Hike, they can fly.
1st and long, Leveros pitches out to Barajas, trying to follow his blockers. He gets a hole up the middle, not going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but for 1st and 20, he does make it 2nd and 11.
Yeah, gains about 9 yards on that play and makes a couple of big cutbacks there to gain that. It looked to me from up here, I'm not quite sure, but if he would have kept rolling to the outside, he might have been able to get a couple more. A great block there on the outside by number 2, Austin Hike, but he cuts it back up and gains a few.
Last week versus Gustine, 317 total yards of offense, only 21 of those being passing yards, and they only had time of possession for 14 and a half minutes, just over 1 quarter. Here's Leveros back to the pitch game. Austin Hike cutting back to the outside, in trouble, and swallowed down for a loss of 2. And then there comes the penalty flag, a late hit, as Austin Hike was on the ground for about 2 seconds before that final hit.
Yeah, and before that penalty that's going to give Summerville a first down, you talked about the angles, making the right angles to get the tackler. And number 18 for Dos Palos right there makes a great play on number 16, Brody Peters, to shed the blocker and make the tackle.
Move this ball up to the 40-yard line of the Broncos. It's a Summerville first down. And Summerville moving the ball a lot faster, like you mentioned, than what Dos Palos was able to do. Over 6 minutes of offense just to settle for a field goal. But Summerville now, they got that first down, and I still think they're going to keep it to that run game. See one of those slot players come across. Handoff to the back. Launches forward for 7 yards. A great gain straight up the middle, back to Colton Cash for his 3rd carry.
Yeah, and you talk about that outside sweep that Summerville was very successful with last week. They're going to be running it up the gut right now to set that up. They're going to draw that defense in and then spread them out with the sweep. So the game plan right now, I would imagine, I'd expect on 2nd and short to see another run right up the gut.
Barajas comes across left to right, and there it is, right up the middle. Hesitated for a second, but still gets him the yardage for a first down into the attacking third.
Yeah, and great work by Cash on that one, finding the hole that the offensive line is making for him, and he sets it up right there by number 73, Reese Wynn, and he makes a good block and allows Cash to get the first down.
Reese Wynn, 4-year varsity starter, current center, plays both sides of the ball, and I know his dad is excited to see where they go next, him and his brother Jordan, who's also a 4-year player. Colton Cash, 4th carry, loss of 1.
Yeah, and that one, it looked like it was supposed to be right up the middle. Cash tries to bounce it to the outside and gets swallowed up. So that's what I'm talking about earlier. They're going to try to set up the run up the middle, and they just got to trust it and keep doing it. And then eventually you're going to spring one of those sweeps on the outside for a big gain.
Second and 11. Leveros, opposite side pitch, breaks past one defender, gets room to run, inside the 10, end zone, touchdown Summerville. Austin Hike, 29 yards to the house. Summerville on top, 6-3.
Yeah, great design on that play. They get the entire defense moving to the right, pitch it back to the left, and Hike just goes up the gut, 29 yards for 6.
And now we see the sophomore kicker, Bryson Benitez, 5 for 5 on extra points last week. Hasn't kicked a football his entire life up until a month ago. And now Summerville also has a kicking coach in which Jake Hurst, a former Summerville player, and he played at the University of Nevada, Reno, alongside Colin Kaepernick, in which he's doing a lot of fantastic work with Benitez to get him to do better. And now the officials are going to say that the kick is no good, even though there was an offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I'm really confused as to what's going on. They called it no good, but they blew it dead before the kick happened, so I don't know if they're going to give them another opportunity or what's going on. Looks like he's going to get a second chance here.
And that's kind of only a high school thing, blowing the whistle so that nobody gets hurt and they're not prepared for anything. Bryson Benitez now has to kick again, even though he made it. Since they did blow that whistle, it may hurt them, and I hope it doesn't, but it's just something that goes with high school football.
Yeah, just a practice attempt for him, get the leg warmed up.
Benitez, second attempt. This one goes up and through. Summerville leads 7-3. You're watching Bears football on NorCal Sports TV.
Tree Service is here tonight to bring you Bears football. They specialize in comprehensive tree maintenance and removal. The skilled arborists and staff at Nate's Tree Service have over 30 years experience serving residential and commercial clients in Amador, Calaveras, Tuolumne, and Mariposa counties. They bring their unique understanding of the trees of the western slope of the Sierra to a wide range of tasks related to tree health, maintenance, and removal. Sierra Pacific is proud to support Summerville Bears football. At Sierra Pacific Industries, we understand our greatest strength is the people who choose to build a career with us. We offer many opportunities for personal and professional growth, from entry-level to skilled trades, from truck drivers to sales managers, from foresters to engineers. Become one of our valued team members as part of a growing third-generation family-owned forest products company.
Austin Hike, 29 yards to the end zone on an opposite side pitch. Summerville leads 7-3. I'm NorCal's voice of choice, Levi Flores. Danny Scott joining me. First quarter, 1 minute left to play in Summerville, in just a few minutes able to top the Dos Palos Broncos.
Yeah, and this first quarter feels like it's flying by. Just a lot of runs, not many timeouts. So a good game so far. Summerville up 7-3.
Fair catch made by the Broncos at the 32-yard line. That's where the Broncos will start drive number 2 after settling for that field goal on their first drive. They had a hard count that gave them a first down. They had a 9-yard run that kept the momentum moving, and then a holding penalty on the Broncos inside the 10 of Summerville pushed them all the way back, and they couldn't regain that momentum to find the end zone, and that's why they settled for 3 points. But settling for a kick in Dos Palos' side is not bad. They have a kicker that can do it all, and from basically anywhere on the field, Dos Palos has a chance to score.
Yeah, 100%. Points are points, especially in high school football. Any chance you get to gain even 3 is a big deal.
Hernandez came across on the motion, but it's Flores who gets the handoff, and a gain of 1 is what they'll mark. 2nd and 9 for Dos Palos.
Yeah, and it looks like number 13, Luke Larson, the edge there, setting it great and stopping the run before it really got a chance to get going.
We didn't see a passing game from Summerville on that first drive, but when we look at last year, Braylon Leveros went 10 of 12 on the air, 156 passing yards, 2 touchdowns in a perfect quarterback rating. But also on top of that, Braylon had 321 of the 374 yards for the team. Van Werth looking to throw, had plenty of time behind the O-line, but now in trouble. The Bears closing in, takes a hit, floats it up. A flag drops down at the 40-yard line, and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be either a late hit or roughing the passer on that one, but Van Werth, with his legs, able to extend that play, and even though he got rocked on that one, it looks like it's going to wind up being a first down for Dos Palos after he got kind of smoked out of bounds there.
Coach Leveros not happy as of now, and, it's hard. You can't take a different angle. You're already going in on it. But an ineligible receiver downfield is what's going to be called, and this is another one where it comes to high school sports, is it's hard to contain yourself from moving down, and I just assume it's going to be on an offensive lineman going past that 5-yard mark.
100%, and those penalties are going to be offsetting, so we're going to get a repeat of second down here, and it looks like might have been number 75, Jerry Skipworth, running downfield. It didn't look like anyone was too seriously far down.
2nd and 9 as the penalty is declined. Van Werth, play action, left side, has some room. Caught, reeled in at the 40, and the Dos Palos Broncos have broken the Summerville side of the field.
Yeah, number 3, Drake Hennigan going up and getting that one. Van Werth looked like he might have overthrown him a little bit. Hennigan goes up and gets it on the basket catch for the first down.
Luke Larson was the corner on that play, allows the Broncos into the 40. And now looks like a timeout will be called. No, excuse me, end of the first quarter is where we come to. Second quarter coming up in a moment as the Summerville Bears lead by 4.
Eldorado Septic Service Incorporated. Full-service septic installation, maintenance, and repair. With over 25 years experience serving the needs of Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Mono counties, Sean Dar and the Eldorado Septic team are your trusted name in local quality septic services. Go to EldoradoSeptic.com. That's EldoradoSeptic.com. Service done right.
At Caldwell Insurance, our local team is dedicated to providing you with quality personal and commercial insurance programs. Whether it's for your home, autos, farm, or business, our professional team of agents can find the best protection at a competitive price. It's our family-owned and operated agency that will provide you and your loved ones protection under our roof. Give us a call at 209-532-5102 or visit our website at caldwell-insurance.com.
Dos Palos Broncos now going from right to left on your screen. It's 1st and 10 for them after the big pass to Drake Hennigan. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores. He's Danny Scott, and we're going to see if the Dos Palos Broncos can find the end zone on drive number 2. In motion is Hennigan. Hennigan takes it away from Van Werth. Hit at the line, loss of 1. A big tackle by Riley Nevis.
Yeah, and Nevis just comes flying up from that linebacker position to make the stop. It looked like Hennigan had a lot of room to run, but Nevis just comes flying through and makes a great tackle to stop him before the play really got a chance to get going.
Going to say a gain of nothing on that play, but nonetheless, Nevis getting back there, flying through like Superman. And they'll think twice before running that again.
100%.
Van Werth, empty backfield. Custonia jumping in, incomplete pass to the intended target of Adrian Garcia.
Yeah, and the Summerville defensive line, we talked about it earlier. It was one of my keys to the game is the ends got to contain Van Werth, but the defensive front also has to get to him and create pressure to make him uncomfortable in that pocket, and they do a great job on that one. And you saw in the replay, Luke Larson keeping him contained, forcing that errant throw.
And Rathmill was the one that put the pressure on to force Van Werth to get the ball out of his hands, and Colmenares was the one who pushed him towards the sideline. Had multiple options to do something, but incomplete pass will do, and now it's 3rd and 10. Van Werth needs a first down. Opposite side pitch, just like Summerville ran for the touchdown. This is going to get big yards and thrown down, slid across by Bryce Levros. And Hennigan with a fantastic run.
Yeah, and that looked like a repeat of what we saw from Summerville. But the difference is Levros comes flying from the safety spot to stop him short. And it brings up an important 4th down here if you're Dos Palos. About 2 maybe 3 yards to go to get the first. And if you're Dos Palos and you don't pick this up and allow Summerville to go up by 2 scores, that makes a big difference in this game.
The last 4th down, they had a hard count, which got Summerville jumping, got their first down, and from this spot, Jesus Bond may have been an option, but they don't want to get him out too early. Van Werth will take the run on 4th down, barely get across that line, but they do get a first down and will keep their offense moving.
Yeah, and it looks like number 99, Hunter Anderson, tripped him, and that might have helped Van Werth because he fell forward on that play.
First and 10 inside the 30. Hennigan will move to the left side, and Van Werth will have Flores in the backfield. Van Werth looking to pass. Flores blocking for him. Stays in the pocket. Goes in zone. Overthrown. But it was still caught to Sixto Ibarra.
Yeah, a good pitch and catch on that one. Just not enough field. And Ibarra reels it in, but it's out of bounds to bring up 2nd and long.
It was a good option for him. If they were maybe on the left side hash, it would have done something better.
Yeah, the corner route, it's a very common play in football at the high school level. It works to success a lot if you have a lot of open space. And it was a great throw. He dropped it on a dime, just like we mentioned, not enough field to work with to catch it in bounds.
Van Werth has some options for 2nd and 10. Only 3 receivers this time. Go to that opposite side pitch out again, and it'll gain yards. Hennigan back to it with the Barajas tackle.
Yeah, Barajas and Larson coming together to make that. Barajas kind of took him off his feet, and Larson finished the job to stop him short of the first.
He's looking at number 75 for Dos Palos there, possibly getting away with a hold call, but Summerville has to fight through it. Both teams have to fight through no calls, and that's just part of the game.
Yeah, definitely. And at the high school level, you know, it's not going to be a perfect referee job every single time. They're going to let them play, and they're going to let the kids play a lot more than you would see once you start to get into the collegiate and professional levels.
I expect a pass here from Dos Palos for 3rd and short. Van Werth looking at the options. Here comes the Summerville line, forcing Van Werth back to the 40. Swallowed down, no throw, and a throw of a flag instead.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be. I would imagine it's going to be a face mask. It didn't look like anything was really going on, so I'm going to assume that someone got a hand on the face, and that's going to be, but I don't see it on the replay. So we will see what the call is.
We'll look a little closer this time. Nevis came across, but I didn't see any drag of shoulder pads for a possible horse collar. I never saw his face mask go into a different direction. And a hit to the head, apparently.
Interesting. I I could see it, but it didn't look like head-to-head to me. It looked more like Nevis used a shoulder pad on that one, and it's too bad that the referees don't have the luxury of replay like we do.
Summerville coaches are going to go back, look at that one, and wish they had it back. I mean, there's nothing you can do different. Nevis basically gave up on the play and moved to the side, and just that little extra contact was enough in the moment for the official to throw the flag. But they will keep it at 3rd and 3 for the Dos Palos Broncos, but it should be an automatic first down, correct?
Yeah, I don't, unless there was a offsetting penalty, but I didn't see the referee make a signal on that, so maybe Summerville's getting away with one.
Hennigan comes across the handoff. Flores, he breaks free inside the 15, slips one defender, second one goes down 2. Flores to the corner, touchdown Broncos.
Yeah, and your guy, Andre Flores, you talked about him a lot. You were really excited to watch him in this game, you know, the last namesake that you two share. So he makes a great play, makes a lot of guys miss on that one, broke 3-4 tackles, and finds the end zone to give Dos Palos the lead back.
Now here comes back Jesus Bond for the extra point attempt to hopefully go up by 3. 8 minutes, 49 seconds left in the first half, and exactly what we expected, a tight battle at Thorstead Field. Bond for the extra point. This one goes soaring through the yellow poles, and it's 10-7. The Broncos take it back over the Summerville Bears.
Bears fans, Nate Solon Mower is pleased to support tonight's Bears football broadcast. They're your go-to retailer when you need a steel project to do the job, at home or at work. Visit their store, where friendly, knowledgeable staff will assist you in finding the right steel for the job, whether it's a chainsaw, blower, trimmer, pressure washer, or anything in between. Nate's Solon Mower on Longeway Road in Sonora. Benton Roberson CPA's passion is helping people achieve business success and financial independence. While we certainly provide traditional accounting services such as tax preparation, payroll, and bookkeeping, we also offer a variety of advisory services to help with business planning, social security decisions, income and asset growth, tax efficiency, and much more. Benton Roberson CPAs is here to help our clients achieve their goals through a generational relationship and wealth building. We hope to see you soon.
Deo Espresso and Smoothies kickoff. Dos Palos Broncos will give it back to the Summerville Bears after taking a 10-7 lead just under midway through the second quarter. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores. He's Danny Scott. Once again, thanks for being here. It's been fun. Right now, it's exactly what we expected. Dos Palos getting some, Summerville getting some, and vice versa. And this is the second time a Dos Palos kickoff goes out of bounds, and will give Summerville even better field position.
Yeah, and if you're Dos Palos, giving Summerville that field position is very dangerous, because we know how quickly they can score. So if I'm Summerville, I'm trying to get the ball in the end zone very quick, because we've seen a couple of very, very long drives from Dos Palos. So if you want a chance, this is almost a 2-for-1 situation, which is crazy to say with 9 minutes left, but with how methodical the Dos Palos drives have been, you got to score as quickly as possible if you're Summerville.
And Summerville in last year's game only had 1 touchdown per quarter, ended up with 34 points. Third quarter they did have 2 touchdowns, but he said they're scoring fast and they need to keep doing that, just keep moving on big plays, and this one gains them 6.
Yeah, and Colton Cash just going right up the gut, and like I mentioned earlier, I expect them to do this a lot. It looks like the Dos Palos defense is really focused on containment, trying to keep the sweeps from breaking. So if you're Summerville, take what they're giving you, just keep running it up the middle. They're playing the 4-man even front and leaving a lot left on the center.
Leveros dishes it back off to the back, who lunges forward, tripping over himself inside Bronco territory. And that is Colton Cash once more. And one thing about the Dos Palos defense that you mentioned again was Julio Garcia on the sideline, not suited up today, but he was a big part in last year's season.
Yeah, and he's a senior linebacker. Anytime you lose a senior, no matter what position, if they're a starter, it's a big loss, let alone a linebacker who was one of their leading tacklers a season ago.
Cash again using his legs. Ball comes loose, and it looks like it might be Bronco ball. And it is. Dos Palos recovers the fumble from Colton Cash. A late developed play, and that tackle right there, punching the ball out, gives it back to the jerseys in white.
Yeah, and I wasn't able to pick up who punched that out, but a great play by Dos Palos on that one. And in high school football, very important. You got to go and attack the ball, and that's exactly what they do, pick up the ball and give their offense another chance to get into the end zone.
Back to Julio Garcia for a moment to the Dos Palos defense. He was their leading tackler with 67 tackles last season. It's unfortunate that he's not out there now. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Van Werth will go straight to the pass game. Going to the sideline, throwing it down, nearly picked off by Peters, but Barajas came over and poked it out of his own player. Some friendly fire on the Summerville corners.
Yeah, and Rathmill on that one, putting a lot of pressure on Van Werth, forcing him out of the pocket to throw it down the field, and Peters nearly comes up with the interception, and that would have been his second on the year. He got a pick last week against Gustine.
Second and 10 after passing on the first play. 7 minutes, 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Dos Palos up 10-7 over the home-playing Summerville Bears. Bryce Leveros on the left side. Deep receiver here, back to the run game, gets him 2 yards, and now it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, and a great play there by the Summerville defensive line. We keep talking about it. They try to run up the middle, and it looks like it was Reese Wynn on that one, kind of stopping the left guard on that one, Skipworth, and forcing the running back to run right into Arian Schnabel for the minimal gain.
Third and 8. Split receivers, 2 on both sides. Goes to the short side, gets some room. Leveros coming across, takes out his legs at the 45. And the Broncos back on the Summerville side.
Yeah, and just a little screen right on that one to the outside, and he picks up a good chunk of yardage. And Leveros once again with another touchdown-saving tackle. It didn't appear to be anyone else out there, and if it gets past Leveros, that's going to be 6.
Multiple shoestring tackles just grazing the cleats. And you're not allowed to hurdle in high school sports, and I'm not sure if there's another way around that, but if you could just evade your feet from Leveros, it could be a different story. Here's another one for the Broncos. First down.
Yeah, and that one goes to Sixto Ibarra, and these little outside screens are almost an extension of the run game, and we see it a lot, especially the higher you move up, and they make a big difference. It spreads out the defense quite a bit, and that's what Summerville has been successful with tonight, is stopping the run up the middle. So you spread them out and try to establish that run once again.
Van Werth goes with the hard count, looks back over at coach, gets a different play. Flores will move to his right side, and I'd pay attention to Hennigan here. Handoff, Flores met at the line, no gain. And as time continues to tick down, 6 minutes left in the second quarter, Dos Palos around the 30-yard line. They're looking to score on this possession no matter how long it takes. 6 minutes is a lot of time, but Summerville, you want to get that ball back now if Dos Palos is looking to score, because you also want time to score before that break. You don't want to let them get up by 2 possessions.
Definitely, and if you're Summerville, at worst case scenario, you want to hold them to 3. Best case scenario is you get a fumble or a pick right here and get the ball back and give your offense a chance to score heading into halftime.
Van Werth looking deep. Incomplete again, intended for Sixto Ibarra. That's the second time they went into that corner for Ibarra, and both of them are incomplete.
Yeah, and good coverage there by the junior Orlando Lopez. He forces Ibarra to run a little bit farther than that pass actually was. So good play there from Lopez to force the incompletion and bring up 3rd and very long.
Colmenares comes out of play for the Summerville defense. 3rd and 11. Van Werth probably back to the pass game, but the clock has stopped due to the incomplete pass. They go 2 receivers both sides. There's Van Werth with the extra defense of Flores standing in front of him. Trying to stop him is Leveros and stripping that ball out. They will get close to that first down yardage, but it's 4th and short inside the high red zone.
Yeah, Leveros was attacking that football. Unfortunate that he wasn't able to pop it out, but a good open field tackle on that one, keeping him in front of the sticks, and that's very important, especially with how close they are to the end zone on this drive.
And Vaughn, the receiver, defensive back, kicker mix, did the perfect job. He was still held strong onto the ball, but just kept going upfield. He never turned away. He never tried to go left, right, backwards to get away from Leveros. He said, that's the end zone. I need to go that direction. That's the only path I can take. Despite being tackled down, that's what he was attempting. Here's Van Werth upfield, close to that first down marker, and I believe he got it.
Yeah, and Van Werth isn't a huge body at only 155 pounds, but his 6'2" frame gives him a lot of reach once he starts moving up, and he runs incredibly hard.
Van Werth was the second biggest ball carrier in last year's game, having 15 carries, only 64 yards for an average of 4 yards per carry. He did also have 1 rushing touchdown. But the leading rusher from last year, Mike Cantu, has now graduated. He had 107 total yards, but Flores has really taken that spot. And here Flores going to lose some yards, and the ball comes loose. Here goes Barajas in open field into Bronco territory. Plenty of room to go. Black turf is ahead. Barajas, end zone, touchdown Summerville. All the way down on the turnover, and the Summerville Bears take the lead with just under 4 to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, and a long fumble recovery gives Summerville the lead back. Not sure who popped it out, but a great job by the defensive front to string him out, give someone the chance to attack the ball, and it looks like that's number 73, Reese Wynn, the one to knock it out, and Barajas scoop and score 80 yards down the sideline to give the Bears the lead back. Tristan
Barajas, no stranger to big plays, and he does it once more, his first time this season. Summerville goes up 13-10, and it's up to, well, I thought it was going to be Benitez going out there, but it looks like with the huddle might be trying a 2-point conversion. They will do just that. In the backfield is Luke Larson. Right beside Bryce Leveros. In motion is Barajas. Leveros cuts it right side. Doesn't have anywhere to go, and he stops shy. That'll be a failed 2-point conversion attempt for Summerville, but they do get the lead with the big play. Nonetheless, 13-10 is where we stand with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the second.
Ranch Casino is a proud sponsor of the Summerville Bears Quarterback Club, and they support Summerville High student athletes. By working together, Chicken Ranch Casino believes we can all help elevate each and every student-athlete's game, both on the field and in the classroom.
Tristan Barajas scoring for the Summerville Bears after a scoop and score fumble from Flores. We're back to the Deo Espresso and Smoothies kickoff. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores. He is Danny Scott, and it just continues to prove exactly what everyone expected in a close battle. But when we saw that last play from Dos Palos, he was caught in the backfield. He kept dodging tackles, getting one hand on him, and then he'd slide off that. But that just shows you that sometimes you have to go onto the ground. If there's so many black jerseys around you, you need to just fall to the deck and avoid any farther loss. You know, that forward momentum is going to help you if you stay in one position, but ended up fumbling the ball and led to a score on the other end.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to it and give you your credit where credit is due. One of your keys to the game was that Dos Palos can't do too much with the ball, and that's exactly what happened. Flores tried to do too much, and he ends up coughing the ball up for a long scoop-and-score touchdown by Barajas, and that gives Summerville the lead. And Dos Palos had a chance to go up by 2 scores. Instead, they're down by 3 points because they were trying to do too much on one play.
Barajas didn't do anything last year in the game against Dos Palos, but now with one of the biggest plays we've seen this season. I don't want to allude to anything too specific because we have so much more to go in this game, but we do have our Black Oak Casino Resort player of the game coming up in our post-game show, and just with that play alone puts him in the conversation.
100%. Big play, scoop and score touchdown, and any chance you get 80-yard touchdown on defense, I feel like that puts you in good conversation no matter what.
Dos Palos' first drive took 6 minutes for them to score. Their second took just over 5 minutes, and now they only have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left before the half, in which they won't be able to carry that ball into the third quarter. So is it enough time for them to score, especially with them starting off with a run play?
Yeah, and one thing that I want to point out that I give their head coach, Rob Calvert, a lot of credit for is he's going right back to Flores after he coughs the ball up. Show trust in your running back, who was your main guy last week, 144 yards, a touchdown. You know, he's only a sophomore. Don't let that go to his head that he coughed the ball up. So credit where credit is due on that play, showing your running back that you still got confidence in him.
5-yard gain on that Flores run. 3 minutes, 8 seconds and counting, and I need to see some airplay from this Broncos offense to show that they're still in it. Van Werth releases early in the hands to Ibarra, dragging down a defender to the 30-yard line. Sixto Ibarra reels in his first reception of the game, and it's a big one.
Yeah, a great play by Ibarra. He goes up and high points it over, I believe, Orlando Lopez. Goes up and gets it to get the Broncos right back where they were before they coughed the ball up.
What a reception, picking that right out of the air. And one thing I mentioned while they were warming up is the arm of Van Werth and how he lofted the ball so high in the air in his warm-up throws. But that time, it's a dart straight down the middle on a frozen rope, and Sixto Ibarra, all he had to do was make sure his hands were there. And that was a beautifully offensive drawn and executed play.
Yeah, it was a great play on both ends by that one. Van Werth throws a laser. Ibarra goes up and gets it to give the Broncos a massive first down with only a couple minutes left here before half to try to go back up and gain the lead.
Looks like Coach Sean Leveros is stopping the game for a moment for some sort of issue that we're not aware of, but here's that play again to Ibarra. Right up over Lopez. Beautiful throw. You couldn't get any better. And Lopez looked like may have, being dragged down, got us slightly injured. But these coaches for Summerville still looking up at the booth.
Yeah, I wonder if it looks like they're talking maybe some communications are down. I'm not quite sure.
1st and 10 now. Flores takes it away from Van Werth, makes the exchange for a gain of 3.
Yeah, and I'll go back to it because I'm an offensive line guy myself, or defensive and offensive line guy, but the defensive line of Summerville is playing a great game so far. They forced that fumble on the last drive, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Van Werth and stopping a lot of these runs before they get a chance to break them, which is something that we've seen from this Dos Palos offense able to do.
And breaking down the defense, you were second team all MLL defense back in 2018. So you know exactly what people are looking at and what the players need to do. Here we have a flag thrown after another gain of 3.
Not sure what the penalty is going to be, but it sounds like you did your homework on the
I have a full background check. I know what you did in 2005. We don't have to talk about that. No.
But yeah,
when you were 4 years old.
It's definitely very important. The defense, the high school game, especially in the Motherlode League, is going to be won in the trenches. It's going to be what the offensive line can do against the defensive line, and it's going to be what the defensive line can do against the offensive line. And any chance that you get to get pressure on the quarterback and stop these runs, it looks good for the Summerville defense because it forces the receivers to run farther and farther downfield in the passing game, and you get some off-kilter throws from the quarterback when he's forced to throw on the run.
2 minutes ago, Dos Palos took the ball over, and the only thing they have to show for it is that reception to Ibarra. This one could have been a second big reception inside the 20, but it falls incomplete. to the intended target of Drake Hennigan. And now the clock stops at 1 minute 37 seconds, but it is third and very long.
Yeah, and if you're the Bears, you're praying that they keep passing. You still have all 3 timeouts left, so you're hoping for a pass here and another incompletion, and then you'll get the ball back with, plenty of time to score if you're the Summerville offense, especially with 3 timeouts.
We have an update from down the street in Sonora. They are playing the Ripon Indians, in which it's a future league opponent in the TVL for them. At the half, 22-0, the Sonora Wildcats leading Ripon. You can watch that game on NorCal Sports TV as well. Flores gets the reception at the 25, but slides down to the ground. Flores goes breezing right past into the end zone. Touchdown, Dos Palos.
Yeah, and Flores does it with his legs on the ground and then with his hands through the air on that one. Gets his second touchdown of the game. This one, a receiving touchdown, and, he coughed the ball up on the last drive for Dos Palos. This time finds Pater to give Dos Palos the lead back.
Second touchdown for Andre Flores, and it's back to the leg of Jesus Bond to make it 17-13. Snap, hold, and a kick, and it's through once more. 17-13 is where we stand. Is 90 seconds enough for the Summerville offense? We'll find out next.
Oh, it's a name synonymous with real estate in Tuolumne County and has been for more than 30 years. The latest member of the Lupo family to join the Tuolumne County real estate family is Leanne Lupo at Keller Williams Agency. Leanne is a Tuolumne County native and knows how special the place we call home is. A hard worker who truly cares about her clients. Leanne is a special talent. And Leanne is a Summerville High School graduate and huge Bears supporter, so give her a call and see what she can do to help you. If you see her around town, please thank her for helping to make tonight's live stream possible.
Hello, Bears fans. The Bears Quarterback Club is excited to help bring you Bears football live streamed into your home or your device. Enjoy all the Bears football action on this TV quality broadcast. This is our way of saying thank you to the Bears community for all the support through the years. On behalf of the Bears Quarterback Club, thank you for watching.
4 of the Summerville drives last week were under 90 seconds, but they need to do it this time in order to score before the end of the half. But fumbled the kick return, put it back into his hands, and at the 22 is where the Bears will start this drive. A long way to go for only 1:18.
Yeah, not much time left on the clock, but like we've talked about, the Summerville offense feels like they can score at will. All 3 timeouts left, plenty of time. You have the use of the entire field on this drive. So if you're Summerville, definitely want to hurry up, but with those 3 timeouts, got a lot to work with.
The last thing you want to do is give Dos Palos another chance in any regard. So you look at big plays, it could help, but then at the same time, do you want to risk for big play, big reward? Leveros, first time empty backfield, goes up and over. It is caught by Austin Hike. Another big play for him. He rushes back to keep the offense moving for Summerville, but it's the first time Bryce Leveros, the sophomore quarterback, really looked downfield for a big play pass.
Yeah, and Hike goes up and gets that ball right in front of the safety, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout by Dos Palos here.
Broncos don't know what to do, so they're going to bring in their defensive coordinator to make sure that doesn't happen again. 17-13, Dos Palos leads.
United Insurance Services offers quality insurance coverage, a high level of professional service, and a long-term relationship. They have several locations throughout California to serve your needs, including Elk Grove, Lodi, Napa, Roseville, Sonora, Walnut Creek, and Minden, Nevada. As independent agents, they'll research rates and coverage from top insurance companies to find the best insurance rates and insurance plans for you. They do the shopping and comparing, so you can save time and money.
First and 10 for the Summerville Bears after a pass completion from Leveros to Austin Hike. Big plays is what they're looking at. We'll see if they can replicate for a second time. Hike goes in motion. Leveros hands it to him. Up the middle he goes. They were expecting a pass. They got a run, and it's 9 yards is what Summerville gains, and here's that first time out.
Yeah, and still plenty of time. You got a minute left on the game clock, got a couple timeouts. Summerville has the luxury of being able to run it up the middle with those timeouts. So if I'm Dos Palos, you really can't game plan for them to be using the sideline. It opens up the entire playbook for Coach Levros.
1 minute left to play in the second quarter. We will have our El Dorado Septic halftime report before we head to the cheerleaders and our halftime break, so make sure you stay tuned for that and what we will expect for that second half, because both of these teams need to make some changes, and what those changes are, I'm sure they're going to figure out in the locker rooms, but for us, we'll try to take a deep dive into what we think they need to do. Second and short for Summerville at the 45. Leveros in the gun, looking to pass. Being chased down, goes left. Dragged down from behind, no flags fly. I thought a possible horse collar, but Bryce Leveros will be stopped for a loss of 2.
Yeah, and it looked like the far receiver on that one was open for a long time. It looks like number 16, Brody Peters. However, Leveros wasn't really looking to the left side, looking more downfield, up the middle or to the right side. Didn't get his head turned around quick enough to hit Peters so he could get the first down.
Second timeout called by Summerville, and I know Coach Leveros wasn't happy with no flag there, but looking back at it, he just kind of brought his arm up under the shoulder pad. It wasn't by the nameplate, so it was a hard tackle, and credit to the defense for making the right play.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any malicious activity on that one. It was kind of an awkward tackle, definitely, but there was no intention to hurt Peters or drag him down, or no intention to hurt Leveros, or drag him down from the back. Just kind of an awkward situation, and definitely it's a hard play.
Peters, Hike, Cash, Barajas, options for the Summerville O. 3rd and 3, 42 seconds left and counting. Leveros kicking out right side, up and down to Hike, goes to the ground, and the ground hitting his back, bumping the ball into the air, makes it incomplete. It does stop the clock, but it's 4th down, and you don't want to give Dos Palos the ball in any scoring position, so this makes it tough for Summerville. Yeah,
and Leveros tried to float that one to Hike, and it was in his hands, and that was everything but a reception. Hike just needs to hang on to that ball, the ground forcing the ball to get jarred loose.
Now it looks like the Summerville offense is out there. We saw Dos Palos have a hard count, give them a first down. I'm not sure if this is the same option for Summerville, but we'll see what the coaches have in store with only 35 seconds. You don't want to give the Broncos the ball here. Leveros looking at that back judge, starting to count down, and they will take a delay of game.
Yeah, kind of wondering why they elected to take the delay of game. The clock was stopped because of the pass. Not sure why you wouldn't just call a timeout. You still got one left. If you know that you were going to be punting, why push the ball back a little farther? But that's why the coaches are down there and we're calling the game, so we will see.
Broncos push back 2 to return. It is Bon and Ibarra. Arian Schnabel has entered for the Summerville special teams, and it's Bryce Leveros back to punt, standing on his own 26. Looks like Summerville calls a timeout. We'll head to a break. Final 35 seconds coming up next.
Bear fans, Boyer Construction is proud to help bring you tonight's broadcast of Summerville Bears football. For over 30 years, they've proudly served our communities with an uncompromising commitment to quality, integrity, and client satisfaction. They are meticulous and still believe in the value of handshakes, and they ensure that you get the experience you deserve. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Summerville calls a timeout as they were getting ready to punt. They took a delay of game on the previous play, and now they went out to punt, then called a timeout. There's some odd things happening just from us on the broadcast side, but we're going to see if they changed anything during that break. 35 seconds for Dos Palos. Can they get into the end zone, or is this going to be the score going into the half? Here's the snap. Leveros takes a second, launches this one down the sideline, and it'll stop dead at the 32-yard line. Took some time off the clock, 8 seconds to be exact, so 27 seconds to go 67 yards.
Yeah, and unfortunate that took a back hop because the Summerville defense or the special teams, was down there and tracking the ball very well, making sure that Dos Palos wasn't going to be able to get a return on that one, but took a back hop, got to stop it. If it would have got a little bit of a forward hop, you would have been able to take some more time off the clock, but only 30 seconds, 27 seconds left in this first half. Dos Palos only has one timeout remaining. Interested to see if they're going to come out in a victory formation here and take it to halftime, or if they're going to take a couple shots here. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to be doing.
Van Werth up to the line. 4 receivers, and Flores to his right. They are going to take a shot. It's Bond on the left side, but he drops it incomplete. It only takes 1 second off the clock. So they still have multiple plays, and I don't think this hurts them despite just not getting a little bit closer.
Yeah, and Bond just took his eyes off that. He was looking upfield before he caught the ball, trying to make a play, and, I'll go back to it, trying to do too much. Just reel in the ball, get the yards that you can. But incomplete pass nonetheless.
Run game. Flores, middle. Breaks free again. First down and a little bit more. Still staying through the jerseys of black for Summerville at the 45-yard line, and 13 seconds remain.
Yeah, and that one, Flores does a great job reading the holes and taking what the defense gave him on that one, and breaks a couple tackles along the way. It looked like Leveros had a good chance to stop him a few yards from where he ended up gaining to, but a good run sets him up with 13 seconds left in Summerville territory finally.
Both touchdowns for Dos Palos has come from Flores, but in this situation you have to go pass because you can't expect your team, after being stopped time and time again, to get to the end zone in the run game from 45 yards out. We have seen consistent plays over and over from the pass game. What play at this point in time can get a touchdown for Dos Palos?
Yeah, I'm curious to see. We know that they like to go to that right side. However, you're on that right hash right now, and we already saw the corner play work. Now you got more room to this near sideline. So if they can get, 21 Sixto Ibarra right there on a good corner route and looks like man coverage, they have a chance to get 6 before this half ends.
Van Werth does go to him. It's Bond. And it is taken down at the 10, but I don't think anyone was in bounds. No, they're going to say it's a catch at the 10-yard line.
3 seconds left, and Dos Palos does not have a timeout, so they got to get up and kill this real quick.
Nowhere close to inbounds there, but Dos Palos moves up to the 10. They set the chains. They got to start the clock.
And just a wild
we have whistles. Summerville is moving to the side saying that's the half. Players are still on the field, but Summerville says let's go. That's the half. Those were the whistles. Still no confirmed call yet. And the white hat coming over, talking to Coach Leveros. And he said he threw it on the ground. There's zeros on the clock.
And if he was out of bounds, and that clock should have been stopped, so it looks like Dos Palos is going to get a chance to kick a field goal and go up by 7 here before the half.
And I think maybe something Coach Leveros is arguing, obviously we can't hear him, but said obviously if he's out of bounds, then that's not a catch either because he's out of bounds. But I don't know, that's from my point of view of what they're looking at, but here Bond is going to have to kick from the right hash. And a timeout, Summerville. That's their last of the half. That'll send it back to the sidelines. Bond will have that attempt from the right hash. I don't think we've seen him kick from there. It's only been extra points.
Yeah, and I'm still very confused as to to what's been going on. If he caught it but was out of bounds, then the clock should have been stopped and they should be around the 40-yard line. But if he caught it and fell inbounds, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. But what I do know is Dos Palos is going to have a chance to kick a field goal here and go up by 7 before the half. And we talked about it. Bond has a leg on him, and I know he has a distance from here. It's whether from the right hash, if he can be as accurate. It looked like in warm-ups he was only really kicking in the middle and off that left hash, so we'll see what his plan is here.
And another question I have, just for the officiating crew, because they've never signaled to the booth, is that there's zeros on the clock, and they never mentioned to add any time, even if it's just 1 second. That's something to know if there was a penalty or not. But here they're not going to add any time, so I don't think Summerville will have any chance even for a kick return if possible. But here, Bond from the right hash, snap, hold, and a kick. This one goes right through the middle, and it is 20-13. Dos Palos leading the Summerville Bears. And before we head to our break, it's the El Dorado Septic halftime report for full-service septic installation, maintenance, and repair in Tuolumne, Calaveras, Ramona County. Go to eldorado.septic.com. And now looking at this first half so far, Dos Palos opened up the scoring with Jesus Bond, the kicker, getting a field goal at 6 minutes into the drive, but then Summerville answered right back within 5 minutes. Touchdown and an extra point with Austin Hike. Dos Palos right back at it. Touchdown with Flores on the run. That started off the second quarter scoring. Summerville fumbled, gave it to Dos Palos, but then Dos Palos fumbled right back and gave Summerville an 80-yard touchdown with Barajas making his way into the end zone, and then with Flores scoring that last touchdown before that, and then the field goal makes it 20-13. But what do we have to look at for the second half as Summerville will get the ball starting it out?
Yeah, I think it's going to be what we talked about earlier. It's going to be containment. Van Werth has been using his legs very well. When the pass breaks down, he gets to the outside and picks up a good chunk of yards. It feels like just about every single time. So for Summerville, the front seven is playing very well, but it's not really great containment. And if I'm Dos Palos on that offensive side, I'm going back to those screens that worked very well for him. Summerville, we really only seen them have 3 drives, and one of them resulted in a fumble. So I still feel like there's a lot for the Summerville offense to get going. They haven't been on the field as much as I would have liked to see. But like we talked about last week's game, they weren't on the field very long because they had that ability to score so quickly.
This has been your El Dorado Septic Service halftime report. Once again, eldorado.septic.com.
Scott Berner, financial advisor at Thrivent, is proud to help bring tonight's Bears football game live to your home. As a Summerville High alum and a member of the Bears Quarterback Club, Scott is instrumental in supporting Summerville High School and Bears football in many ways. The next time you see Scott, be sure to say hello and thank him and Thrivent for supporting the Bears football family. That's Scott Berner, serving you in retirement and insurance. Roberson Construction brings a can-do attitude to every aspect of a construction project, making dreams a reality for its customers. The Roberson team is made up of professionals who know how to make the construction process a positive experience. Roberson Construction focuses on quality and integrity to maximize results and minimize stress. Whatever your construction needs, a remodel, new home, commercial project, consider Roberson Construction. You can find us locally and on Facebook or Instagram. We look forward to listening to you. The Sonora Area Foundation remains focused on its mission of strengthening its communities. It does that through three functions: assisting donors, awarding grants, and leading the community. The vision of the Sonora Area Foundation is that it will be the benchmark for exemplary practices in the philanthropy field. You can go to sonoraarea.org to learn more. Sonora Area Foundation, for good, forever. Visit Tuolumne County is proud to bring you tonight's broadcast of Summerville Bears football. As the official tourism bureau of Tuolumne County, California, their mission is to enhance economic growth by increasing tourism to Tuolumne County. VTC invites visitors to experience iconic Yosemite explorations, authentic California gold country discoveries, and unforgettable High Sierra outdoor adventures. You can enjoy endless outdoor recreation, state and local parks, sightseeing, stargazing, history, shopping, wine and cider tastings, relaxation, and more. Nate's Tree Service is here tonight to bring you Bears football. They specialize in comprehensive tree maintenance and removal. The skilled arborists and staff at Nate's Tree Service have over 30 years experience serving residential and commercial clients in Amador, Calaveras, Tuolumne, and Mariposa counties. They bring their unique understanding of the trees of the western slope of the Sierra to a wide range of tasks related to tree health, maintenance, and removal. Sierra Pacific is proud to support Summerville Bears football. At Sierra Pacific Industries, we understand our greatest strength is the people who choose to build a career with us. We offer many opportunities for personal and professional growth, from entry-level to skilled trades, from truck drivers to sales managers, from foresters to engineers. Become one of our valued team members as part of a growing third-generation family-owned forest products company.
El Dorado Septic Service Incorporated, full-service septic installation, maintenance, and repair. With over 25 years' experience serving the needs of Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Mono counties, Sean Dar and the El Dorado Septic team are your trusted name in local quality septic services. Go to eldoradoseptic.com. That's eldoradoseptic.com. Service done right.
At Caldwell Insurance, our local team is dedicated to providing you with quality personal and commercial insurance programs. Whether it's for your home, autos, farm, or business, our professional team of agents can find the best protection at a competitive price. It's our family-owned and operated agency that will provide you and your loved ones protection under our roof. Give us a call at 209-532-5102 or visit our website at caldwell-insurance.com.
Hey, Bears fans! Nate Saw & Mower is pleased to support tonight's Bears football broadcast. They're your go-to retailer when you need a steel project to do the job, at home or at work. Visit their store, where friendly, knowledgeable staff will assist you in finding the right steel for the job, whether it's a chainsaw, blower, trimmer, pressure washer, or anything in between. Nate's Saw & Mower on Longeway Road in Sonora. Benton Roberson CPA's passion is helping people achieve business success and financial independence. While we certainly provide traditional accounting services such as tax preparation, payroll, and bookkeeping, we also offer a variety of advisory services to help with business planning, Social Security decisions, income and asset growth, tax efficiency, and much more. Benton Roberson CPAs is here to help our clients achieve their goals through a generational relationship and wealth building. We hope to see you soon.
Chicken Ranch Casino is a proud sponsor of the Summerville Bears Quarterback Club, and they support Summerville High student athletes. By working together, Chicken Ranch Casino believes we can all help elevate each and every student-athlete's game, both on the field and in the classroom.
Lupo. It's a name synonymous with real estate in Tuolumne County and has been for more than 30 years. The latest member of the Lupo family to join the Tuolumne County real estate family is Leanne Lupo at Keller Williams Agency. Leanne is a Tuolumne County native and knows how special the place we call home is. A hard worker who truly cares about her clients. Leanne is a special talent. And Leanne is a Summerville High School graduate and huge Bear supporter, so give her a call and see what she can do to help you. If you see her around town, please thank her for helping to make tonight's live stream possible.
Hello, Bears fans. The Bears Quarterback Club is excited to help bring you Bears football live streamed into your home or your device. Enjoy all the Bears football action on this TV quality broadcast. This is our way of saying thank you to the Bears community for all the support through the years. On behalf of the Bears Quarterback Club, thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Levitt United Insurance Services offers quality insurance coverage, a high level of professional service, and a long-term relationship. They have several locations throughout California to serve your needs, including Elk Grove, Lodi, Napa, Roseville, Sonora, Walnut Creek, and Minden, Nevada. As independent agents, they'll research rates and coverage from top insurance companies to find the best insurance rates and insurance plans for you. They do the shopping and comparing, so you can save time and money. Hello, Bear fans! Boyer Construction is proud to help bring you tonight's broadcast of Summerville Bears football. For over 30 years, they've proudly served our communities with an uncompromising commitment to quality, integrity, and client satisfaction. They are meticulous and still believe in the value of handshakes. And they ensure that you get the experience you deserve. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Hello, Bears fans. Black Oak Casino Resort is very proud to help bring you tonight's live streaming of the Summerville Bears football game. If you haven't been to Black Oak Casino Resort recently, now is the time to come by and check us out. Whether you enjoy the entertainment at Willow Creek Lounge, the 5-star RV park, the beautiful Black Oak Hotel and Conference Center, the bowling alley and family fun center, all the games our casino offers, or the fine dining at Seven Sisters Restaurant, it's all there waiting for you. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Scott Berner, financial advisor at Thrivent, is proud to help bring tonight's Bears football game live to your home. As a Somerville High alum and a member of the Bears Quarterback Club, Scott is instrumental in supporting Somerville High School and Bears football in many ways. The next time you see Scott, be sure to say hello and thank him and Thrivent for supporting the Bears football family. That's Scott Berner, serving you in retirement and insurance. Roberson Construction brings a can-do attitude to every aspect of a construction project, making dreams a reality for its customers. The Roberson team is made up of professionals who know how to make the construction process a positive experience. Roberson Construction focuses on quality and integrity to maximize results and minimize stress. Whatever your construction needs, a remodel, new home, commercial project, consider Roberson Construction. You can find us locally and on Facebook or Instagram. We look forward to listening to you. The Sonora Area Foundation remains focused on its mission of strengthening its communities. It does that through 3 functions: assisting donors, awarding grants, and leading the community. The vision of the Sonora Area Foundation is that it will be the benchmark for exemplary practices in the philanthropy field. You can go to sonoraarea.org to learn more. Sonora Area Foundation, for good, forever. Visit Tuolumne County's proud to bring you tonight's broadcast of Summerville Bears football. As the official tourism bureau of Tuolumne County, California, their mission is to enhance economic growth by increasing tourism to Tuolumne County. VTC invites visitors to experience iconic Yosemite explorations, authentic California gold country discoveries, and unforgettable High Sierra outdoor adventures. You can enjoy endless outdoor recreation, state and local parks, sightseeing, stargazing, history, shopping, wine and cider tastings, relaxation, and more. Nate's Tree Service is here tonight to bring you Bears football. They specialize in comprehensive tree maintenance and removal. The skilled arborists and staff at Nate's Tree Service have over 30 years experience serving residential and commercial clients in Amador, Calaveras, Tuolumne, and Mariposa counties. They bring their unique understanding of the trees of the western slope of the Sierra to a wide range of tasks related to tree health, maintenance, and removal. Sierra Pacific is proud to support Summerville Bears football. At Sierra Pacific Industries, we understand our greatest strength is the people who choose to build a career with us. We offer many opportunities for personal and professional growth, from entry level to skilled trades, from truck drivers to sales managers, from foresters to engineers. Become one of our valued team members as part of a growing third-generation family-owned forest products company.
Bears, as the Dos Palos Broncos take the almost 2-hour drive to Tuolumne County and have a strong showing so far. 20 points is what they've put up to the Summerville 13. He's Danny Scott. I'm Levi Flores, the voice of choice. And now here is the second half. Scoring, Hike, Cash, and Barajas. Actually, excuse me, Cash had the fumble, but Hike and Barajas had the touchdowns. Flores and Bon are the only other two that have scored in this game, and those were both for Dos Palos.
Yeah, Flores getting a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown, doing a good job from his running back position, and then Bon getting 6 points with his leg on the 2 field goals. Dos Palos has a 7-point lead at 20-13, but Summerville will get the ball to start the second half.
Deo Espresso and Smoothie kickoff coming up. Summerville, they're down by 7, in which if we have a replication into the second half, but of course Summerville starting, then we'll probably have another tie ball game, maybe some overtime, but we can't be too sure. That's why we have the El Dorado Septic halftime report, so that we can talk about the bad and get rid of that. And then now we come to Deo for the good stuff.
Yeah. there we go. I think these teams, it's still only the second week of the season. There's a lot to clean up that's very evident from both these teams. However, halftime is where you make a lot of your adjustments, and I think we're going to see a much crisper second half. Quite a few fumbles coughed up from both sides in that first half, but Summerville, we've talked about it so many times, they have the ability to score at will, and it's just a matter of time before we see a couple of these big runs. On the offensive side, we saw the 80-yard plus touchdown from Barajas on the defensive side, but the Summerville offense really hasn't had an opportunity to get going yet. They've only had a couple of drives, and it feels like all we've been seeing is this Dos Palos offense on the field.
Coach Leveros and the Summerville coaching staff talking to the officials a little bit longer before the kickoff, making sure they're on the same page going into the third quarter. I'd like to shout out one of my other bosses, Jim Wells. Thanks for watching from Oakdale. And you have some guys watching in New York or just around the U.S., and one thing I thought funny before you shout out their names was when Barajas had the 80-yard scoop and score, they didn't know how to spell the name. And in Tuolumne, you're going to know how to say it, but I believe one of them tried attempting B-A-H-A-R-A-Z of some sort. But Barajas is here now for the kickoff return. He will get to the 24-yard line, and that's where Summerville keeps it in the second half.
Yeah. Shout out to my guys giving me some analysis. Mike, John, Ryan, Pat, and Sam tuning in from all over the East Coast, and they're helping me out, seeing what they're seeing, and I got a little bit of an explanation from what they thought on that far sideline catch to end the first half, but love to see that we're expanding coast to coast now.
Yeah, and they're on the East Coast getting a little taste of West Coast football. We're going to see how these smaller schools continue to go throughout the season. Here is Austin Hike with another carry, finds the outside edge, trying to get his speed going. He does so for a 17-yard gain and over to the Broncos sideline. A fantastic start for the Bears offense.
Yeah, and one thing that we saw repeatedly in the first half was just the runs up the gut, and it looks like Dos Palos came out and said, okay, we're going to stop that, but then that leaves the outside wide open, and we see Hike try to go inside and bounce it out to the outside and get a good gain there for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 41. Leveros goes to, I believe that's Nicholas Rogers, if I'm not mistaken, for a gain of 4. Also could have been Schnabel. No, that is Rogers. Rogers, we didn't see get a carry last week. If I'm not mistaken, it was Schnabel who was that other back option. But Rogers did a good job last year in the few games that he was able to get out there and play.
Yeah, I believe Rogers got maybe a couple of carries last week, 3 or 4, but not much in the yardage range. So a quiet game for him last week, and really quiet here so far, considering the Summerville offense has maybe run 15 plays.
Another wide open play for Barajas to breeze through and get another first down. But my mistake last week, Rogers did get quite a few carries. He had 6, which is the second most amount of carries. I just didn't remember. He was kind of low producing on that yardage-wise, but of course they still trusted him to carry that ball in the time of need, and he even had a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he's a big body running back, standing at 5'11", 160 pounds, and for high school football, that's not exactly a small guy. So the short yardage situations, look for him to get a couple more carries.
Hike is stopped behind the line, the loss of a few yards. But Summerville starting out the second half with good motion.
Yeah, and it appears that forward momentum will give him that line of scrimmage back. But a good job there from the Dos Palos defense, and that was one of the things that I just mentioned. They were giving up a lot of those runs up the gut. Now they come out, looks like a bigger set of defensive linemen. Number 79, Alonzo Del Rio, standing at 6'4", 290 pounds, a big body up front to try to plug up some gaps.
2nd and 10, man in motion, left to right. It's Barajas. The pitch out, got it to him. Following the leading blocker, there goes a flag, and I believe it's holding on Summerville, but Austin Hike is complaining about a face mask. Maybe what I saw isn't what the official saw, or maybe it is, but we'll take a closer look.
Yeah, it looked like Hike was clapping a little bit, so looks like it's going to be against Dos Palos, a defensive holding on a run play. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that before, but you know what? That gives Summerville the first down.
Austin Hike was a little bit distraught after that, got up looking at the sideline saying, "Coach, I got ripped across the face mask there." And good job by the white hat throwing that flag and giving it to him. And I believe it was a face mask and not a holding. The PA announcer here got it incorrect, but that'll give first down for Summerville. And Dos Palos has a question now for the official.
Yeah, and the coach over there looks rather upset at the call, but, that's football. We've seen Coach Leveros rather upset on this near sideline quite a few times so far tonight, so it goes both ways. At least both coaches are mad at the refs, not just one.
We'll shout out our NorCal Sports TV crew tonight. We have Forrest Marion on our hero cam. We have Taylor Rector at center, our producer, Dion I. Thanks again, Danny, for being here. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores. And shout out to our other crews out tonight in Sonora, Jeremy Hurtado, Mario Ramos. You can watch that game right now as Sonora obliterating the Ripon Indians. And then down in Turlock, also Turlock High School, playing on NorCal Sports TV.
But if you're watching this game, definitely don't turn it off, because this is a much better game than that Sonora game. I think Sonora's up, by about 30 right now?
36-0 is what it was at our halftime, and I'm sure it's going to continue in that same direction. If you want more on the Motherlode League, you can join Jeremy Hurtado and I every week for Striking Gold, the Motherlode Landscape. We tell you how the league teams are playing, and Danny might have to have you on. Here goes Bryce Leveros himself, taking it up the gut, following his older brother Braylon Leveros in the run game, getting the rushing yards inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and I love the play design on that one. Gets everyone going to that left side. Leveros runs it right off the right guard, and a beautiful run there. Great play design. Gets some first down, and now in the red zone looking to tie this game up.
We saw Bryce get a few carries last week, but it wasn't a lot. He had 4 rushes for only 12 yards, but last year Braylon Leveros had a lot, as this time it's Colton Cash inside the 5. He hits black turf, but did he skid first? Not going to get there. First and goal at the 1-yard line for Summerville, but 2 back-to-back plays, putting Summerville in the best position possible.
Yeah, and that's about as close as you can get without it being a touchdown. So Summerville 4 downs to gain 1 yard. If I was a bet man, I would guess this game's going to be tied or within 1 point within the next few seconds.
Well, it's a high school game, so we'll leave that to Vegas. But 2013, here's Leveros in the gun. Man in motion, it's Barajas. The handoff to him. He breaks the plane. Touchdown, Summerville.
And the Summerville offense just loading everyone up on that right side, handing the ball to Barajas, and with how hard of a runner he is, I don't think there was anything that was going to be able to stop him. Finds the end zone to bring Summerville within a point with the extra point try coming to try to tie it up.
2 touchdowns for Tristan Barajas, and here's Bryson Benitez, the sophomore kicker. Benitez up and through it goes, ties it up 20-20 with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Plenty of time for either team to take the lead. Hello Bears fans, Black Oak Casino Resort is very proud to help bring you tonight's live streaming of the Summerville Bears football game. If you haven't been to Black Oak Casino Resort recently, now is the time to come by and check us out. Whether you enjoy the entertainment at Willow Creek Lounge, the 5-star RV park, the beautiful Black Oak Hotel and Conference Center, the bowling alley and family fun center, all the games our casino offers, or the fine dining at Seven Sisters Restaurant, it's all there waiting for you. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game. Thanks to Black Oak Casino Resort for being a proud sponsor of Summerville Bears football on NorCal Sports TV. You can stay, you can play, and you can dine. And next week, September 2nd, is the grand reopening of their family fun floor with the new bowling alley. So next week, if you're in the area, go to Black Oak Casino Resort, take your family, and have some fun. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores. You're Danny Scott. It's a 2020 ball game, and we're back to the Deo Espresso and Smoothies kickoff. Do you have a favorite Deo drink?
Oh, I'm a big fan of the Red Bull ones. I got to go with the Summer's Kiss, but I always get it sugar-free because those things got a ton of sugar in it, but they're delicious and give you a lot of energy.
That peanut butter blast is always my favorite, but also when they add mint to it, fantastic as well. Caught inside the 10, does Palos on the kickoff return, gets to the 22-yard line, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the worst starting field position for the Broncos.
Yeah, that would sound about right. I think a lot of the times they've been attempting that little pooch kick, and Dos Palos have just been calling for a fair catch this time. They kick the ball deep down the field and stop them before they're able to get out to the 25-yard line. So good job by the Summerville special teams, and gives the defense a chance to make a big play. And, you know, Summerville has all the momentum tying the game up. If they can get a stop here, that could be game-changing as this game starts to move later into this third quarter.
We got a question in the YouTube comments from Jay Bird. Where is Dos Palos from? And they are in Merced County, close to Los Banos, within the same vicinity. 2020, here's Dos Palos' first offensive drive in the second half. Van Werth, we've seen a lot of good things. A high snap, tips it back to himself, slides through the pocket and tackled down. A pack of Bears don't allow him into the cave.
Yeah, and it looks like number 5, Nevis, number 73, Wynn, combining on that one to get the sack. And number 55 in there as well for the Bears, Castonia, and a great job containing Peyton Van Worth, a point of emphasis that I've had all game long, so good job there by the Bears front seven.
Second in about 13. Van Worth is spreading out the offense, but they hit the run game with Flores, and the second time in a row, Dos Palos goes nowhere.
And this Bears team is starting to feel fired up right now, getting the momentum fully back on their side. You know, they get the touchdown, do a great couple jobs on the last two plays, stop the run from going nowhere, get the sack on the previous one. The Summerville defense is starting to come fired up, and this is where the 22-man roster of Dos Palos can hurt you a lot.
And that's what I was going to ask you, too, is because, you know, we just got past halftime. They got a little break, but how is that affecting here? Van Worth throwing deep and open man. Lopez is the corner. He allows him to glide by, and Sixto Ibarra breaks the barrier. First down, Dos Palos in near the 50.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a misplay there from Lopez. He decided to play the man instead of the ball. If he goes and attacks that ball, he might have been able to get an interception on that, or at the very minimum knock it away and give the Summerville defense a 4th and long.
Dos Palos breaks that 3rd and long, and now it's 1st and 10 at the 49. Goes left side to Hennigan and cuts back inside. I thought it was a bad move, but this time it's looking to be good. Hennigan hurdles over inside the 35. Ball came loose again, but Summerville is not going to get a fumble recovery with Nevis. Instead, it's Dos Palos at the 31.
Yeah, and I thought the exact same thing as you when Hennigan cuts to the inside. Typically, a guy will cut to the outside and try to get towards that sideline. However, he cuts to the inside, and the gamble pays off for him as he gets a good chunk of yardage and gets the first down.
Van Worth spreads it out again. The open side of the field is the right side. Not going to go with the pass anyway, as Flores immediately met in the backfield, and they're going to lose one.
Yeah, and just swallowed up there by the Summerville defensive line. A great play there to keep that play from going absolutely nowhere, and in fact losing about half a yard on that one.
Former Summerville Bear Pristine Dean Trimoloni from last year's graduating class, the number 1 wide receiver, breaking records left and right, watching from home. Thanks for watching, Dean. Now Dos Palos back into the attacking third, 32-yard line. They've been stopped multiple times on this drive, but it's the big plays that have got them to this position. Van Worth has 3 receivers right, gonna do another designed run. He's trying to break past Wynn. He does so and met at the sideline by number 13, Luke Larson, taking down Van Worth.
Yeah, and it looked like he got a decent hit on him. So interested to see if, you know, Van Worth is going to question trying to fight for those extra yards as this game goes on, being the quarterback, you know, a very important position. He may elect to start giving himself up a little more, especially in a tight ball game where he's playing every single offensive snap.
And you saw on that, too, he was basically giving himself up, slowing down, moving towards the sideline. But since he still kept going forward and not directly out of bounds, Larson took him down. Holy smokes, Bryce Rathmill! The sack taking down for a loss of 9. Rathmill, another one, big loss of yards for the Dos Palos Broncos.
Yeah, and deja vu. The only thing that didn't happen is the fumble, and Flores just does not pick up the block on that one. Rathmill comes free on the edge and rocks Van Worth in the backfield for a huge loss to bring up 3rd and long.
Van Worth turned his head at the last quarter second and was nose to nose with Bryce Rathmill, the junior linebacker, and now he has to go against him again. Van Worth throwing to the sideline, caught again, end zone they go. After the hit, they get the end zone for a touchdown. Flores for the 2nd time.
Yeah, and that's his 3rd touchdown of the game, the 2nd time through the air, as you said, and he also has one on the ground, so a great job there from Flores. He kind of picked that ball up off the turf. It looked like a little bit of an underthrow from Van Worth there, but he does the rest of the work and gives this Dos Palos Broncos team the lead back once again.
26-20, Jesus Bon, extra point to go up 7. Through again, 27-20. Dos Palos still continues to lead the Summerville Bears, but there's still a quarter and a half to go.
Scott Berner, financial advisor at Thrivent, is proud to help bring tonight's Bears football game live to your home. As a Somerville High alum and a member of the Bears Quarterback Club, Scott is instrumental in supporting Somerville High School and Bears football in many ways. The next time you see Scott, be sure to say hello and thank him and Thrivent for supporting the Bears football family. That's Scott Berner, serving you in retirement and insurance. Roberson Construction brings a can-do attitude to every aspect of a construction project, making dreams a reality for its customers. The Roberson team is made up of professionals who know how to make the construction process a positive experience. Roberson Construction focuses on quality and integrity to maximize results and minimize stress. Whatever your construction needs, a remodel, new home, commercial project, consider Roberson Construction. You can find us locally and on Facebook or Instagram. We look forward to listening to you.
On that opening drive in the second half for Dos Palos, it was big play defensively for Summerville, even bigger play offensively for Dos Palos, and this is going to be the third time Dos Palos puts the ball outside the lines for good Summerville field position. Forgot to make a shout out to one of our former Summerville Bears players, and I extremely apologize, but George Henderson, thanks for watching as well and supporting your Summerville Bear alum. Miss that team, honestly. They were so good together. They worked so well. They knew exactly what they were doing, no matter what part of the field they were on. If one of them was on the sidelines or whatever was happening, it was honestly the best Summerville team to ever exist. And this team is shaping up to be really good, but they just didn't have that chemistry like last year's team does.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was often in New York calling Fordham football games, my university, so I didn't get to tune into many Summerville games, but I know that team was very good, led by the older Leveros. You already mentioned Dean Tremoloni and Kai Elkins, the running back. Those three were very important to that Summerville offense, but this year, you know, I see a lot of potential between Brajas, Cash, and Hike. And, you know, the younger Leveros is only a sophomore, so he's got a lot of time to get going. And that was a boot that took a good bounce there, and Brajas is forced to take it out.
Somerville elected to take the penalty on the kickoff and push him back further, but we already knew Jesus Bond had the leg to kick it long distances, and they said, you know what, sure, we'll do that, and then we'll kick it exactly where you were standing the first time, and it hurts him in the end. Should have taken the field position. Yeah,
and that took a wicked hop on Brajas. It looked like that was going straight through the end zone. Instead, kind of stops on a dime and forces him to pick it up and take it out, and gets caught up before he can get out to the 25.
Sometimes it's big risk, big reward. This time it's big risk and stuck at the 20. Hike in motion. Leveros deposits into his pocket, and he is tripped up after a gain of 3.
Yeah, and I think that was a bit of a setup play on that one. Hike finds the hole but gets tripped up and trying to get back to that far hash, and instead gets right in the middle there. So curious to see if Summerville is going to try to reestablish that run up the middle, or if they're going to go to more plays like that where they're trying to get their speed guys on the outside and get down the sideline.
Shout out to Wyatt Castoni's grandparents watching from McCall, Idaho. Second week in a row watching the grandson. 2nd and 8 for Summerville. It's Barajas from left to right. Opposite side pitch. Austin Hike. Can it work out for a second time? It gets some yards, but it didn't do as much damage as the first.
Yeah, and that first time they ran it, it ended up being 6 points for the Bears. This time it looked like he was about one guy away from finding the end zone, and number 9, Hernan Hernandez, able to get off the block and make the tackle before Hike gets to that far sideline and goes streaking down that field.
Summerville moving their offense a little bit slower. The opening drive in the second half seemed to be fairly fast. They scored in 4 minutes. That is quite a bit a long time for the Summerville offense, but 4 minutes is a lot shorter than what Dos Palos has done too. Leveros designed run up the middle. Second time in the game that he's getting big yards to the 50-yard line. Bryce Leveros, midfield.
Yeah, and a great run there. And I want to go back to that last point you just made about this Summerville offense taking more time on these drives. And I love that idea because that gives your defense a chance to catch their breath. You know, you got a few guys that play both ways, so it doesn't really matter to them. They're going to be playing either way, but the rest of the guys that aren't used to playing the entirety of the game get a good chance to catch their breath, and much needed with how much time this Dos Palos team has been on the field.
Another run game play, going to add a few more yards, and this is what Summerville needs. They just need to keep going forward.
Yeah, and it's been a good methodical drive, and we've seen a lot of Cash in this game, and he gets another carry and gains a good 5 yards to set him up with second and medium.
Leveros back to the huddle. We see some of those skill players that are out as options, and Brody Peters will be the lone receiver to the left side. 2nd and 5, you're halfway there. You can take a shot, but the run game has been positive. They are going to look to throw. Leveros in trouble, being chased down by Hernandez. Leveros unleashes an open man. It's number 45, Trenton Miller. Miller still on his feet inside the 10 after being hit on the side by Ibarra. Trenton Miller takes it in for Summerville, and they're in scoring position.
Yeah, and a great play there from Leveros, able to escape the pocket, find an open man downfield, and Miller does about all he can to get into the end zone, but sets him up 1st and goal with 1:25 here left in the 3rd quarter.
And now Summerville has some options. Clock ticking down. You need to find that end zone, tie up the game, and the 4th quarter is going to be wild here in Tuolumne.
Yeah, and I believe you projected an 8-point or a 4-point game rather, and we're getting pretty close to that score being a reality.
Barajas down the gut. He's going to gain it into the 5, maybe the 2-yard line is where they will place it. And my prediction actually was 38-28. Last year's score was 34-28, if I'm not mistaken, and I thought Summerville would just do a little bit better on the offensive side. But right now, Dos Palos sitting at 27. Can they get shut out in the 4th quarter? And Summerville, can they get an extra touchdown and a half? It's not out of the realm of possibility, but Summerville here is the most important to tie this game. Colton Cash is to the right of Leveros. Barajas is the left side slot. Hike is on the right. Barajas, motion, Leveros, low snap. Oh, slides through the defense, found a small opening through the cave and into the end zone. Touchdown, Summerville.
Yeah, and a design quarterback run there for the sophomore. He picks the ball up off the turf, pushes his way forward, and finds pay dirt for 6 points, and an opportunity here to tie the game up.
Benitez high in the air, through the uprights, tied again, 27-27, 16 seconds left in the 3rd, a tie game in Tuolumne.
Area Foundation remains focused on its mission of strengthening its communities. It does that through 3 functions: assisting donors, awarding grants, and leading the community. The vision of the Sonora Area Foundation is that it will be the benchmark for exemplary practices in the philanthropy field. You can go to sonoraarea.org to learn more. Sonora Area Foundation, for good, forever. Visit Tuolumne County is proud to bring you tonight's broadcast of Summerville Bears football. As the official tourism bureau of Tuolumne County, California, their mission is to enhance economic growth by increasing tourism to Tuolumne County. VTC invites visitors to experience iconic Yosemite explorations, authentic California gold country discoveries, and unforgettable High Sierra outdoor adventures. You can enjoy endless outdoor recreation, state and local parks, sightseeing, stargazing, history, shopping, wine and cider tastings, relaxation, and more.
8 touchdowns in the game between both teams, leading us to a score of 27-27, 15 seconds left in the 3rd. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores, and beside me is Danny the Great Scott.
Man, you did do your homework. I know you pulled out that article that Oh, man, that's funny. I haven't heard that in a while, but I'm going to correct you on one thing. 7 touchdowns and 2 field goals for Dos Palos to make it 27-27. So, but nonetheless, a very, very tight game, and it's been a fun one so far. And we still got a whole quarter of football left, and if it's going anything like it has been, we may be getting some free extra football tonight too.
There's a few turnovers that cause this game to swing one way and then back to the other, but we're right back into the middle of play. Time of possession is going to be big in the fourth quarter, but before we get there, Dos Palos has to run at least one more play. Hennigan, Van Werth, Flores, Bond, Garcia out there as well, and Jonathan Jasso, who haven't mentioned his name as much, but he is on the roster sheet. He does have quite a few stats. We'll see if here's an option. Hennigan. Now it's Flores. Flores breaks past the line into the secondary and wrapped down at the 35-yard line, and that will end quarter number 3. When we come back, we switch sides of the field, and it's the final 12 minutes of play. Summerville Bears football is on NorCal Sports TV.
Tree Service is here tonight to bring you Bears football. They specialize in comprehensive tree maintenance and removal. The skilled arborists and staff at Nate's Tree Service have over 30 years experience serving residential and commercial clients in Amador, Calaveras, Tuolumne, and Mariposa counties. They bring their unique understanding of the trees of the western slope of the Sierra to a wide range of tasks related to tree health, maintenance, and removal. Sierra Pacific is proud to support Summerville Bears football. At Sierra Pacific Industries, we understand our greatest strength is the people who choose to build a career with us. We offer many opportunities for personal and professional growth, from entry-level to skilled trades, from truck drivers to sales managers, from foresters to engineers. Become one of our valued team members as part of a growing third-generation family-owned forest products company.
27-27, Dos Palos and Summerville at Thorstead Field, starting quarter number 4. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores. He's Danny Scott. Thanks to the rest of our NorCal Sports TV crew, Taylor Rector, Forrest Marion, and Dion Nye. Sonora playing Ripon just down the street, and also Turlock High football being played on NorCal Sports TV. Van Werth going to keep this one and go nowhere but backwards.
Yeah, and if you saw on that play, number 55, Wyatt Castonia, does a perfect job of playing that triple option. He played it a little bit soft and then forced the quarterback to keep the ball, and then allows the rest of his teammates to come through and make a play.
We actually have a final score from the Sonora game, 43-0, a shutout in a future TVL matchup. Sonora Wildcats take that one and go on to 1-1 on the season after losing to Oakdale last week. 3rd and 7, Van Werth, snap. Extra protection from Flores, goes to the right side. First down and more, pushed out of bounds by the duo of Barajas and Hike, and the receiver, Adrian Garcia, the senior player, keeping this drive alive.
Yeah, and Garcia's been a little quiet here tonight. Last week, 2 receptions for 57 yards, and you see Barajas on that one just laying down his shoulder and rocking him out of bounds. So a good play there to keep that from finding the end zone.
Dos Palos looks to be slowing down in all regards, both offensively and defensively. Then they pull something out of their back pocket that they kept for a special occasion, and that continues their play in this game, giving Summerville a run for their money. Flores hops around the outside. Nevis strips him down.
Yeah, it's been kind of the theme of this game where Dos Palos will get, a gain of 3, a gain of 4, a gain of 5, and then they'll break off one for 15 yards, and or they'll get lucky with a penalty call. To be completely honest with you, it feels like Summerville has been majority in control of this game. Dos Palos has just gotten quite a few lucky breaks, in my opinion, and has been able to hold the lead from the majority of the game, even though it's tied right now.
Garcia's on the right side of the line as the wideout, triple option left, and Flores still in the backfield. And again, comes across, fakes one way, gives the other. Flores chased from behind by Colmenares, and he will gain 2 to make it 3rd and short.
Yeah, and it looked like that was Luke Larson coming in on that one, able to trip him up before he's able to get the first down.
Third and 3, midfield, big play for Dos Palos. Coach tells Bond the play and reciprocates it to Van Wert. But not before we get a timeout.
Colorado Septic Service Incorporated. Full-service septic installation, maintenance, and repair. With over 25 years experience serving the needs of Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Mono counties, Sean Dar and the El Dorado Septic team are your trusted name in local quality septic services. Go to ElDoradoSeptic.com. That's ElDoradoSeptic.com. Service done right.
At Caldwell Insurance, our local team is dedicated to providing you with quality personal and commercial insurance programs. Whether it's for your home, autos, farm, or business, our professional team of agents can find the best protection at a competitive price. It's our family-owned and operated agency that will provide you and your loved ones protection under our roof.
After the official timeout, Dos Palos gets it back to a handoff to Flores. He earns the first inside the 40, and it's taken multiple Bears to take down the sophomore running back.
Yeah, and Flores has been running really, really hard all night. I'd be curious to see how many yards he has. I know he's got the 3 touchdowns already, but a good job there, keeping his feet moving and able to gain a few extra yards.
Remember, Flores, only a sophomore. He was a big key that I had in the pregame show. And, you know, you sign up for a contract 2 years to play the teams over and over again, and this is the second year. And honestly, next year, Flores is going to get X amount better. And then he has a senior year, and he's going to double what he did last year. And it's just going to keep getting better for him and the Dos Palos Broncos if they can keep a core around him. This pass from Van Wert trying to find Flores is severely underthrown after the pressure was put on by Hunter Anderson.
Yeah, and Anderson coming free off of that right side, able to put a lot of pressure on Van Wert and force the errant throw to his intended target. And Flores, who we've seen what he's been able to do through the air and let alone the ground.
We saw Bryce Rathmill have a massive sack earlier, and that could have been a similar situation. Hunter Anderson was designed to guard Flores, in which he left open to attack Van Wert, who was facing the other way towards the right side. As soon as Van Wert turned towards Flores, Anderson was trying to get to him, and luckily underthrown because Nevis was a little bit of ways away. Flag down, Flores goes upfield, and we get the official call from the referees in which this might be coming back.
Yeah, I'm very, very confident that this is going to be a holding call, and this one's going to be coming back.
Anderson heads to the sideline for Summerville. And a block in the back. And that was a good call. I noticed that in the replay, but either way, it goes against Dos Palos.
Yeah, maybe not very, very confident about the hold, actually, but very, very confident that this was against Dos Palos. I saw the kind of tangle up there, and I wasn't sure exactly what was going on, but I knew it was against Dos Palos, so moves them back and sets them up for second and very long here.
Van Wert, Hennigan, Bond, Flores, Ibarra, and Garcia are the skill players for Dos Palos. Every single option that we've seen go to tonight is out there on the field with a 6-man front. Van Wert looking to go air. Caught again, Sixto Ibarra into the secondary. Cutting to the right side. Nearly dragged down and finally does so. 2 Bears it takes for Ibarra to hit the deck, and the yellow flies at the 15.
Yeah, and I'm going to assume this is going to be a horse collar tackle on Peters there, and couldn't really tell from where we are, but we will see on this replay here, and gets him down by the shoulder pad. I'm not exactly sure if you would label that as a horse collar tackle, but yellow flies, and this is going to move Dos Palos a little bit closer, and they're going to call it a face mask, which is definitely not what I saw in the replay.
We saw a play very early in the game of Bryce Leverus being taken down around that same area. No flag flies there, but this time it does. As we get another look at it, we'll see if a face mask maybe came somewhere else, but this is not the time for officials to be calling other things that we didn't see earlier in the game.
Yeah, and I'm assuming because it came from that far sideline referee that he saw the head of Ibarra there kind of snap because he grabbed the jersey and had so much force on it that it looked maybe from behind like a face mask.
Van Werth takes it up himself, cuts around the side, and close to the end zone. Not going to get there. Inches shy. First and goal. Excuse me, no, it's going to be second and goal.
And if you're Summerville, you're almost, I wouldn't say upset, but when you're this close to the end zone, it's all but a guarantee that you're going to get in there. So I would assume that on this play, they're just going to run a little QB sneak up the middle, get Van Werth in. So if you're Summerville, having this clock roll off right now, it isn't exactly ideal. You almost would have rather have seen them find the end zone there and stop the clock.
And Summerville is hungry. They want to stop this play. And with Dos Palos running in that gun, they have a little bit more time to get into the backfield. But here goes Van Werth. Strolls into the end zone, but we have whistles first.
And I think it's going to be a false start out on the near sideline wide receivers.
Some Dos Palos fans not happy with that. So now their play gets elongated, their drive gets elongated. Summerville has a better chance as it's second and goal from the 60-yard line, but now you have to make that stop. That's the big part. You have to make the stop now. It's elongated, you're taking more time off the clock, and you just have to get that ball now so that they don't have a chance to go up.
Yeah, and of course, as soon as I talk about you'd rather have them get in the end zone, they get a penalty and move it back. But we've seen them able to kick a couple field goals, so points are a very realistic possibility on this drive.
It's Van Werth. Has to use his legs, running 20 yards just to try to gain anything, but he loses even more. It's third down now at the 8.
And there's one of those keys that we talked about so much. Just take what they give you. If he would have turned up right there, he probably would have been able to get a couple and get them closer to that end zone. Instead, he moves backwards, and now it becomes third and goal from about the 8-yard line.
They've tried using their legs, but is it time to go into the air? They've had a lot of success for that, but it's a shortened field. You only have 18 total yards before you go over the back, and now they're faced with an option, and they're on the short side right, which means that they don't have as many options as they would like to.
And an empty backfield here, so curious to see what they do.
Van Werth looking in zone, floats it up and down, incomplete. No flags as Barajas may have clipped him a little bit early, but it's incomplete nonetheless as Ibarra was the intended target, and Ibarra just kind of looking at Van Werth saying, hey, there is another option possibly.
Yeah, and decision time here. It looks like there's an injured bear down on the field.
We'll take it to a break as Dos Palos has a decision to make. Field goal or end zone. We find out next.
Bears fans, Nate Solon Mower is pleased to support tonight's Bears football broadcast. They're your go-to retailer when you need a steel project to do the job, at home or at work. Visit their store, where friendly, knowledgeable staff will assist you in finding the right steel for the job, whether it's a chainsaw, blower, trimmer, pressure washer, or anything in between. Nate's Solid Mower on Longeway Road in Sonora.
Jesus Bond lines up for the field goal to go up 30-27. Bond, it's blocked up in the air. Summerville drops it down. It's still a live ball, so they have to make sure they regain it, and it is Summerville Bears ball. The blocked field goal attempt changes the outcome of this game. 27-27. Bears get the ball and stop the drive of the Dos Palos Broncos.
Yeah, and that defense is fired up down there. Not sure who was the one that came through and got it, but it looks like Arian Schnabel is very excited down there, so I'm going to assume that it had to have been him, and that's exactly who it was, coming through, getting the block, giving Summerville a chance to go up by a full touchdown, something that we haven't been able to see once in this game so far.
And what do they teach you when it comes to special teams? You pinch the middle. You always go inside because that's the least travel distance to the ball on a kick. So you always go inside. He decided to go to the outside man. Schnabel came cutting through, got his hands up in the air, and stopped that possession from the Dos Palos Broncos and a possibly game-winning field goal. Leveros in the game, handing this one off, stopped in the backfield, and you mentioned that Bryce Leveros was the injured Bear just a few moments ago, so it's good to see him out there.
Yeah, definitely good to see him out there. Interested to see if he's shaken up at all a bit after that, but that's something that we talked about. Kind of curious as to why your quarterback is playing defense. However, you know, he's made a lot of big plays in this game and has potentially saved quite a few touchdowns so far, but interested to see how that translates to this offense right now if Leveros isn't 100% healthy.
Leveros throwing on the second play, up and down to Hike, and it's underthrown. A wide open receiver, two guys behind him. Could have got him a first and into midfield, but this one goes short. Now it's 3rd and 12. Summerville hurting offensively.
Yeah, and just barely underthrown. He was wide open, and it looked like that ball was a bit of a duck, and you can tell Leveros is a bit upset with himself letting that one fall short.
Summerville has to take an extended time to talk about this next play. They cannot give this ball up now after the momentum shifter of a blocked field goal by Arian Schnabel. 2 receivers, 2 slot, 1 RB. Leveros throwing again, in trouble. Flick up and down to Barajas. Drop down, incomplete. And now it's 4th down.
Yeah, and Barajas got absolutely lit up on that one in decision time here for Coach Leveros to see if they're going to elect to punt it or try to push it to get the first down here on 4th down late in this one.
A quick 3 and out for Summerville, and it looks like the new players coming out will put them into the punt. 5 minutes, 9 seconds is where we stand with a tie game of 27-27.
Yeah, and earlier in the game we saw the Broncos send 2 guys deep, only one here playing protect, making sure that Summerville isn't going to use a fake here and try to get the first down.
Leveros launches this one high, drops down at the 45, and it bounced off a body of a bear. Do you have a rule analysis on this? Because as far as I'm concerned, the first time you touch it is where the ball is dead, but the officials mark it at the 45 on the other side of the field. Yeah,
it looks like they're going to move it up, so I believe you're exactly right there. It's wherever the ball is made contact with, so an unfortunate play there, but if Dos Palos was able to pick that up, it's still a live ball, so it's not dead the second it touches a Bears player, but dead the moment the Bears make it dead. So an unintentional touch, so Dos Palos was still able to make a play on that if they had desired. Lets it just go dead and move the ball up quite a few yards.
Broncos take over directly at midfield at the 50. 5 minutes to play. Van Werth throwing again to an open receiver, and Jesus Bond tackle down for a gain of 9.
Yeah, and that ball is just kind of floating out there. If I'm Summerville on this drive, I'm definitely attacking the football, trying to knock that thing out with only 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here to go. Not too much time left, so if I'm Dos Palos, I'm not sure why they're passing the ball right now, trying to waste as much time off that clock and set themselves up with an opportunity to kick a field goal and win it.
Dos Palos taking more time, looking over at coach, making sure that every play is going to be the best play possible. Van Werth to Flores. The exchange, first down, and down at the 36.
And what a game that we have seen from Flores. He's been their everything man tonight, only a sophomore. You already talked about it. Within the next couple of years, he has a very realistic chance to be a very scary player at the high school level.
1st and 10, and the Broncos continue to tick that clock down under 4 minutes.
And, well, we got a second here. I got another shout-out. Shout-out to my brother, Kenny Scott, and his girlfriend, Cadence. They're watching up at college in Oregon at Pacific. Kenny's playing football. I know you called a few of his games a couple years ago.
Looks like we have another timeout. This time it's by the Broncos. 3 minutes, 35 seconds. It's not a lot, but it's still tied at 27.
Ranch Casino is a proud sponsor of the Summerville Bears Quarterback Club, and they support Summerville High student athletes. By working together, Chicken Ranch Casino believes we can all help elevate each and every student athlete's game, both on the field and in the classroom.
The Broncos got the clock to wind down, then took a timeout. They're now faced with 1st and 10 with Van Werth back in the gun. Hennigan, right to left, fakes it, runs it himself. Van Werth hit from behind by Bryce Rathmill, and the stop of forward momentum gives him 2.
Yeah, not much happening on that play, but it gives them an opportunity to waste some time, and it looks like Coach Leveros is going to use his first timeout here.
He will do that now in this situation. They're on the Summerville side of the field. They have a fantastic kicker that can win the game for them, although the last field goal attempt just got blocked by Arian Schnabel. What is the play for Dos Palos?
Yeah, keep running the ball. Force Summerville to burn its timeouts. But you do definitely need to get at least one more first down for this game to really feel like it's getting put away. So 2nd and 8, they still got 3 tries. And once you start to get inside of that 30-yard line, that's where you start to feel comfortable with Jesus Bond's leg.
Second and 8 for the Dos Palos Broncos. Throwing left side, it's Bond. He breaks free, keeps going, 22-yard line. Dos Palos gets it again with a fresh set of downs.
And this is looking like trouble for Summerville. Picks up the first down. Bond stays inbounds, stops the clock to move the chains. However, it's going to pick right back up, and now it appears that they would be inside of Bond's range for a field goal.
Two minutes, 50 seconds, and the clock continues to tick. Van Werth, an open right side field. Back to the run. Flores gets a few more and keeps it alive.
And now if you're Summerville, it becomes vital that you must attack that football, try to punch it out, and try to force a turnover here, because right now you're definitely within Bond's field goal range. You got a block on the last one, but you can't be so reliant that you're going to get another block and try to force overtime.
Defensive line slides over, middle of the field. Van Werth, hands off. Flores continues to push, churning his legs inside the 10. Dos Palos looking more and more promising as we hit the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, definitely. And now within the 5-yard line, and Summerville still does have 2 timeouts left. However, very, very close to the end zone if you're Dos Palos. you may not even want to get in right away, but instead try to get it as close down to that goal line as you possibly can and waste a lot of time.
Van Werth tells something to Flores before the snap. Gives it to him again. Down the middle from behind. Rathmill takes him down with the help of Luke Larson.
And that's exactly what happens. He gets tackled at the 1-yard line and forces Summerville to use a timeout.
We'll take a break with them. 90 seconds to play. Tie game 27-27.
Roberson CPA's passion is helping people achieve business success and financial independence. While we certainly provide traditional accounting services such as tax preparation, payroll, and bookkeeping, we also offer a variety of advisory services to help with business planning, Social Security decisions, income and asset growth, tax efficiency, and much more. Benton Roberson CPAs is here to help our clients achieve their goals through a generational relationship and wealth building. We hope to see you soon.
Looks like there's an injured bear on the field, so that's going to give a little extra break, and that's Arian Schnabel. A big loss to Summerville if he's not able to return. It looks like the athletic trainer, Leia Flores, out there along with some of the other ones tending to him as needed. That's a big hit to the Summerville defense and offense. He had a lot happening for him and the team last week against Gustine.
And looks like he's able to get up, not walking off fully on his own, and it looks like he is more now, but he was also the one that made that field goal block, so a very important piece to the Summerville team. So hopefully he'll be all right, and we'll see him back out there soon.
And the way he's acting right now, it looks like something happened up under his face mask during that play where there was a group of Bears tackling down Flores. But now the defense is without him, Summerville is without him, and Dos Palos will attack back at the line with 90 seconds left, 2nd and goal, trying to find some pay dirt to score and take the lead. And another timeout will be called, and we'll take another break, and here's a look at one of your local NCS TV sponsors.
United Insurance Services offers quality insurance coverage, a high level of professional service, and a long-term relationship. They have several locations throughout California to serve your needs, including Elk Grove, Lodi, Napa, Roseville, Sonora, Walnut Creek, and Minden, Nevada. As independent agents, they'll research rates and coverage from top insurance companies to find the best insurance rates and insurance plans for you. They do the shopping and comparing, so you can save time and money. Hello, Bear fans! Boyer Construction is proud to help bring you tonight's broadcast of Summerville Bears football. For over 30 years, they've proudly served our communities with an uncompromising commitment to quality, integrity, and client satisfaction. They are meticulous and still believe in the value of handshakes. And they ensure that you get the experience you deserve. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Summerville made what could have been a game-winning stop the last time Dos Palos was in this position, but now the offense is back for the Broncos looking at that end zone. Van Werth finds it, got it, touchdown Dos Palos.
And Van Werth just walks in on that one, and he is fired up down there, gives them the lead to go up by 6 for now, and we'll see if the field goal or the point after try attempt is good to put them up by 7, but the Summerville offense, we know how high-strung they can be. We saw it last week against Gustine. A minute 29 and a timeout is still plenty of time to try to get the ball and tie this game up.
Jesus Bond, extra point. It is good, 34-27, heading into the final 90 seconds, and it's Bears ball when we come back.
Oh, it's a name synonymous with real estate in Tuolumne County and has been for more than 30 years. The latest member of the Lupo family to join the Tuolumne County real estate family is Leanne Lupo at Keller Williams Agency. Leanne is a Tuolumne County native and knows how special the place we call home is. A hard worker who truly cares about her clients. Leanne is a special talent, and Leanne is a Summerville High School graduate and huge Bear supporter, so give her a call and see what she can do to help you. If you see her around town, please thank her for helping to make tonight's live stream possible.
Hello, Bears fans. The Bears Quarterback Club is excited to help bring you Bears football live streamed into your home or your device. Enjoy all the Bears football action on this TV quality broadcast. This is our way of saying thank you to the Bears community for all the support through the years. On behalf of the Bears Quarterback Club, thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Three of the Summerville touchdowns took 4 minutes to get into the end zone, and the other took 5. But now it's 1 minute and 25 seconds left to save the game and make it a 2-0 record for the Bears this season. Hike will pick up the ball inside the 5, looking for a possible kick return. Right sideline towards the Dos Palos bench into about the 22-yard line is where Summerville will have to start this drive with 1 minute 17 seconds left. And Austin Hike couldn't get it done off the kickoff return, but now it's up to Bryce Leveros and the skill options on the offense.
Yeah, and we've talked about it so many times so far, and you guys talked about it last week, but the speed of this Summerville offense gives them a very realistic chance to score at any moment. It's just who's going to be the guy to step up and make a play, what offensive lineman is going to step up and make a block, what receiver is going to step up and make the catch. Right now, Summerville needs someone to make a big play, and we'll see if they're able to do it.
Still without Arian Schnabel, Leveros dish down pass left side to Austin Hike, making sure he finds the sideline. He does while gaining a couple of yards.
Yeah, and a good job there from Hike. We're still moving forward, but getting to that sideline to stop the clock, gain of about 4 or 5 yards, and most importantly, stops the clock for Summerville.
And Bryce Leveros looking so much better than last week in the passing game, cooperating with the receiver, saying, hey, this is what we have to do, getting it exactly where it needs. There's been a few passes today where it was a little bit off, but looking better as a whole. Yeah,
and I'm sure that was a point of emphasis coming into tonight's game, that the passing game would be significantly better. You know, you get your sophomore quarterback a week to roll.
Ball gets dropped at the feet of Barajas to the right side, stops the clock again, but it is third down. Another situation for Summerville.
Yeah, and Summerville needs to get a first down or get near that first down marker at the very least on this play. Very important third down, and about 5 or 6 coming up here for Summerville, and they need someone to step up and make a play.
107, 34-27. Dos Palos in the lead. Summerville at home, wanting to keep a perfect record, even though it's only week 2. Leveros rolling. Leveros throwing. It's caught, and a first down by Barajas. Actually, hold on. Officials might be marking him short.
It looked like he went out of bounds about half a yard too short. So the most important play thus far in the game, Summerville needs to gain about a yard, or Dos Palos will be able to just kneel this one out. So see what Coach Leveros has dialed up here.
It's also difficult for Summerville because they need a yard, but they also want to get out of bounds. So what's the best option? A guaranteed first yard, pounding the middle, or going somewhere else? We find out here. Leveros pushes, gets it, plus some more to the 39.
And a good job there by Leveros, able to push the pile. And it looks like we're going to get the final timeout here from Coach Leveros, and we'll see what Summerville has cooking up after this timeout.
Hello, Bears fans. Black Oak Casino Resort is very proud to help bring you tonight's live streaming of the Summerville Bears football game. If you haven't been to Black Oak Casino Resort recently, now is the time to come by and check us out. Whether you enjoy the entertainment at Willow Creek Lounge, the 5-star RV park, the beautiful Black Oak Hotel and Conference Center, the bowling alley and family fun center, all the games our casino offers, or the fine dining at Seven Sisters Restaurant, it's all there waiting for you. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game. Bryce Leveros uses his legs to get the first down for Summerville. 39 is where they're at, and the rest of the length of field to go. 55 seconds. He is Danny Scott. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores, and the Summerville Bears want to go 2-0 to start their season, try to replicate what their almost perfect season was last year. But it could end that record tonight, or it can continue. 55 seconds is a lot of time, but they don't have timeouts. Leveros, pitch out. Larson looking to throw. He does down the sideline, cutting back through. Incomplete.
Yeah, and Larson just left that ball a little short. Peters was open. A good play there from the Broncos defense to force Larson with some pressure, and there was about 4 guys in coverage on Peters.
Colton Cash will come in. Larson goes out along with Trenton Miller. And Colton Cash, he did have a very long touchdown last week in Gustine. He's in the backfield for Leveros here. 50 seconds, time stop due to the incompletion. Leveros looks like calling out an audible, puts Cash on his left hip. Leveros. Dragged down from behind, pitches it forward, ball jarred loose, and it is a forward pass, so it's incomplete.
And looking for Lopez on that one. Looked a little Patrick Mahomes-esque, just kind of flicking that one out there. Would have been an unreal play if he was able to haul that one in, but brings up 3rd and 10 with 44 seconds here to go. A real barn burner here up in Tuolumne.
Another 3rd down situation. Summerville hasn't proven themselves in these scenarios yet, but in this drive alone, they have breaking through one. 4 receivers, the spread for Leveros. Chase from behind, pitches it forward to Colton Cash, and will get out of bounds, but it is behind the line for a loss of 2. 4th down and long. The game decider is now.
Yeah, and Cash just forced to string that one out. Now, once again, we have the most important play of the game, 4th and 12. This play could ultimately decide it if Summerville is able to get that first down, or if Dos Palos is able to get the stop and kneel it out for the win.
A long play needed for Summerville. Leveros sets the team in the spread. 4 receivers looking at him. Gives him an option over the middle. Nearly picked off, but it's incomplete. It doesn't matter anyway. Ball swings sides back to the Dos Palos Broncos. And what Summerville did to Dos Palos last year in their home stadium, Dos Palos returns the favor in Tuolumne.
Yep, and I would assume that this game will go final at the score of 34-27, so long as we don't get any bad snaps. But at the high school level, with a team kneeling it out, the defense will typically honor that and not give a lot of pressure to the quarterback. But what a game here. The one-score game has been very, very fun to watch.
Van Worth and the Dos Palos offense will take the field one final time. The last 32 seconds to take the knees. And the countdown begins, but that will most likely do it. 34-27. Summerville Bears fall for the first time this season, but to a very tough higher division Dos Palos Broncos team.
Yeah, and this was a very tightly contested game. Levi, a tough break for Summerville, but as you mentioned, Dos Palos returns the favor to what Summerville did to them last year, but an instant classic here in the Mother Lode League.
We'll come up with our post-game report and our Black Oak Casino Resort player of the game up after this.
Hello Bears fans, Black Oak Casino Resort is very proud to help bring you tonight's live streaming of the Summerville Bears football game. If you haven't been to Black Oak Casino Resort recently, now is the time to come by and check us out. Whether you enjoy the entertainment at Willow Creek Lounge, the 5-star RV park, the beautiful Black Oak Hotel and Conference Center, the bowling alley and family fun center, all the games our casino offers, or the fine dining at Seven Sisters Restaurant. It's all there waiting for you. Thank you for watching and supporting Bears football. Enjoy the game.
Welcome to our post-game report and our Black Oak Casino Resort Player of the Game. Escape your everyday at Black Oak Casino Resort. Play, stay, and dine in Black Oak Lane's grand reopening September 2nd. He's Danny Scott. I'm the voice of choice, Levi Flores, and we had a phenomenal game tonight. It was back and forth to the end, and an incomplete pass on fourth down sent the game to its final score of Dos Palos 34, Summerville 27. Take us through what we saw in the game.
Yeah, it was a very tightly contested game the whole way through, and unfortunately for Summerville, they come out on the losing end. It felt really the majority of the time that they were kind of in the driver's seat. There was a couple of plays that didn't go their way, but they were doing a good job on defense. Dos Palos got lucky quite a few times, able to get a lot of breaks going their way, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but Dos Palos was both lucky and good tonight and able to come away with the victory.
And Jesus Bond was a big part of that. Not only his extra points on the opposite side, Bryson Benitez also did the same thing, but he also was on the offense, catching balls, gaining positive yards for the Dos Palos Broncos. Next week, the Broncos will be back at home against the team out of Madera, Liberty, and for Summerville, traveling out to Waterford, and hopefully we can bring you that game here on NorCal Sports TV. Subscribe to NorCal Sports TV. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook to get all the latest updates as well. But for us, our Black Oak Casino Resort Player of the Game, and I think it's pretty unanimous just from what he did out on the field, but it is the one and only number one, Tristan Barajas. 2 touchdowns, one of them being early in the second quarter, when he had an 80-yard scoop and score fumble touchdown.
Yeah, I think that 80-yard scoop and score is the big difference in this one for the Player of the Game award, but able to get that one. 2 touchdowns on the game. Last week we gave it to Colton Cash, who had another good game tonight, had a lot of yards. Not exactly sure how many, but definitely played a great game. But Barajas tonight, a lot of running yards as well as that 80-yard scoop and score, and then a touchdown on the ground. It's pretty hard not to give it to him.
Yeah, and that second touchdown he had was the opening drive of the third quarter for Summerville, which tied the game at 20-20. After that, Flores had another touchdown. Leveros was able to find the end zone, but that final play of Van Worth able to score in the final 90 seconds is what gave Dos Palos the victory. But our Black Oak Casino Resort, you have to give him all the credit just to what he did. Tristan Barajas, congratulations for being our Player of the Game. Next week at Waterford, Summerville travels down, trying to take on that rivalry that they've had in the last few years. Danny, any last words for Summerville or Dos Palos fans?
Yeah, the one other player that I want to give serious props to tonight is sophomore quarterback Bryce Leveros. He played one heck of a game, made a lot of tackles, got a little banged up, stayed in there, and looking very much forward to seeing how his career plays out and how the rest of this season plays out for the Summerville Bears.
We see Arian Schnabel join the Summerville huddle. He was shaken up on one of those last few plays. We hope to see him next week, but of course his health is more important. For us here on NorCal Sports TV, our camera crew, Forrest Marion, Taylor Rector, our producer, Dion I. He's been Danny Scott. I've been the voice of choice, Levi Flores. We hope to see you next week in Waterford.